for Mark Super Duper.
Super Duper, and they have continued that way. Marino came on, little slow start, but he threw for a lot of yardage, and really is the catalyst for not only that last year's team, but also this year's team. They have continued to dominate in the National Football League, Marino and Duper.
The Miami Dolphins, the only undefeated team in the National Football League. Their record is 8-0. They want to make it 9-0. Now, let's go to the keys to the game. First for Buffalo, can they make a game of it?
Joe Ferguson has to have a good ball game. He is well rested. He hasn't practiced all week, and sometimes the quarterback will come on and play very well after that. But for the Bills to win, Ferguson has to have another good day.
And what is the key for Miami?
Motivation. They're the better ball club. Nobody's questioning that, 8-0 versus 0-8. But they have to be motivated. They have to come out and play their type of game. It's up to Shula to motivate this ball club.
And what is your quarterback quote today?
Well, Charlie, everybody in Miami is talking about comparing this team with the 1972 undefeated Dolphins and asking the question, can this team go undefeated? While the Bills, they're looking back to last year when they won in the Orange Bowl for the first time in 17 years. So today, both teams are looking for an encore in '84.
And here are the two keys. Quarterback Joe Ferguson on the right, Buffalo Bills. The motivator, Don Shula, head coach, Miami Dolphins. Miami won the toss. They'll be receiving on our left, and Joe Danello will be kicking off for the Bills with Fulton Walker, the deep back, on the return. With the win, the ball sails about 8 yards deep in the end zone. The touchback, and the Dolphins will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Offensively, Dan Marino, Tony Nathan, Woody Bennett, Mark Duper, Mark Clayton, Dan Johnson. This is the normal set you will see most of the times on first down. Offensive line, Geisler, Foster, Stevenson, Newman, and Cleveland Green.
The wind will be a factor today, Charlie. It is blowing in the face of the Dolphins on the opening drive, but it is a brisk wind.
And Miami on a roll from last week. They scored on their last 5 possessions against New England. Their last possession first half, all 4 possessions in the second half. And Joe Carter opens it up. And he'll pick up about 3 as Ken Johnson makes the tackle. 23-yard line, 2nd and 7. Defensively, Ben Williams is back, did not play last week. Fred Schmerlis, great nose tackle. Ken Johnson right in. Here are the linebackers. The rookie, Stan David, replacing the injured Lucius Sanford. Jim Hazen's back, did not play last week. Eugene Marv, Darrell Talent. And in that secondary, Donald Wilson, number 21, is the rookie. 2nd down and 7. Marino to throw. And he is on target with his first pass to Tony Nathan. 29-yard line, gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and a yard, and Stan David makes the stop.
You see Marino patting Ben Williams, 77, on the backside. They want to get some pressure on Marino. They were very successful in the first ball game up in Buffalo. Now they want to get pressure, but they want to mix it up. Up in Buffalo, they blitzed a lot. They don't want to come out and show blitz right away, but they're going to have to do it sometime during the ball game to get that pressure.
Short yardage situation. That means that Pete Johnson, at 6 feet even, 270 pounds, is in, along with Bruce Hardy as an extra tight end. 3rd down and 1. And flags go flying. Schmerlis making contact. Was he drawn off?
Encroachment, no guard defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The penalty carries the first down.
Fred Schmerlis is right here. Let's see if we can see him move when Marino is up there. Yep, just a little bit too quick. Stevenson didn't snap the ball when he was supposed to. That was Schmerlis' problem.
First down for the Dolphins. Play action. Looking deep, coming back short, and then incomplete off of the hands of Mark Clayton. We have talked in the opening, Donald Wilson had the coverage in the opening, about the fact that when these two teams met here in the Orange Bowl a year ago, that it was the first start for Dan Marino, first start for Mark Duper. Mark Clayton did not start, but had an outstanding game. 2 receptions, 53 yards, his first NFL touchdown, and in addition, he threw a touchdown pass to Mark Duper.
And that was really the first game, or the blossoming, if you will, of the 3 young players for the Dolphins, Duper, Clayton, and Marino.
Clayton coming back in motion. Tony Nathan. First down. 47-yard line. Mark Duper with a key block, gain of 13. Let's go to the Miami scouting report.
One of the plays the Dolphins love to do is the wide receiver will run straight down the field. All the other receivers will get out of the way. This man right here a lot of times will be Nat Moore. They'll give him an option to break inside, break outside, or if it's open to go deep. This is one of the keys to Miami's play, especially on third down passing situations.
Official spotted at the Miami 48-yard line. First down. Play action. There's pressure. And the pass is dropped off. It's complete to Dan Johnson, the tight end. And he struggles back to the line of scrimmage. Brian Carpenter makes the stop. It'll be 2nd and 10. It was Stan David who was harassing Dan Marino.
A lot of people don't think that Dan Marino can move that well. He is really a very good athlete. He's large at 6'3", 215, but look at him move around. David was an excellent athlete in high school and college. David's going to go back with some remembrance of that little sassy.
And remember that Marino has been sacked only twice. He has been sacked only twice this year. Is Woody Bennett. To the Buffalo 47-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Charles Romes makes the tackle. Opening drive of the ball game. Miami starting on their own 20-yard line. Kay Stevenson, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. They are winless, 0-8. The flip side of success. Buffalo now with 6 in the secondary. 3rd down, 5. Pressure again. Pass is complete to Nat Moore, but it is short of the first down as Charles Romes was there. So in the first offensive thrust of the Dolphins, the Bills doing what they said they would do, pressuring the quarterback.
And you have to credit Marino again from the top of your screen. The linebacker or the safety, I think it is, will blitz inside. By all rights, he should be sacked here. He's been only sacked twice, as you said, Charlie, early. There's just no way that you get away without a sack on that play right there. Marino's ability saved the sack.
The man with the pressure, Rodney Bellinger, number 3 draft choice, played for the national champion Hurricanes last year. And now Reggie Roby, who has kicked the fewest times in the National Football League, will be punted. Donald Wilson set for the return. He's a little rusty. He hadn't been kicking, but he will get a good roll. It will be down just short of the 5-yard line. 39 yards on the kick. Robert so well downed it. If he would have lifted his foot, would have rolled a couple more yards. We'll be back in just a moment.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
Just send for me, oh, baby.
Today, people are getting into better shapes than ever. Shapes that use the wind to help Mercury cars cling to the road. Shapes Mercury will be in for years because handling, comfort, and quality never go out of style.
Offensively, for the Buffalo Bills, most of the time on first down, you will see this set. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback. Greg Bell, the number 1 draft choice. Then either Speedy Neal or Booker Moore at the other running back. Denard, Franklin, and Barnett are the receivers. Jones, Richard, Grant, Borchardt, and Devlin, the offensive line for the Buffalo Bills. Upon their shoulders rests the challenge of today. They've got to give Ferguson some time to throw. 6-yard line, Buffalo starting from deep in their own territory. And the second back through is Greg Bell. Bob Baumauer was there to meet him. Let's look at the defense of Miami. Basically, we'll look at the 3-4. And that means Doug Betters, Bob Baumhauer, and Mike Charles, the front three. There'll be a lot of situation substitution changes, as you know. The four linebackers. Brudzinski, A.J., number 77, he'll be up at that defensive line sometime. Ernie Roan and Charles Bowser. And the secondary. Big changes at left corner. Paul Langford starting for Don McNeil, injured last week. And he's going to be in a cast for 4 weeks, and it's 6 to 8 weeks on recovery time. Second down, Greg Bell again. And this time better blocking up front. He goes to the 12-yard line. Mike Charles makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Reason I mentioned better blocking is that he took his offensive lineman to dinner.
He certainly did. And he took him to one of the finest restaurants in town, Joe's Stonecrabs, which is by far a blue chipper in my book.
And it's expensive. You said he's going to be picking up a big tab. And I understand there were a couple of defensive linemen that were sneaking along.
They came along just for good measure.
3rd down and 4. Ferguson backing out of the shotgun, throwing very quickly, and the pass is complete. He goes to Preston Denard, and a 1st down for the Bills, a gain of 9 yards on the play. Lyle Blackwood makes the tackle.
Denard will come from this side over here, come straight down and come across the field. Blackwood tries to get involved in it, but is a little bit too late. They spread 5 receivers, 4 receivers. They spread across the field, just enough for the 1st down. But that is one of the problems that the Bills are going to present to the Dolphins. They spread everybody out, and then you can work one-on-one, probably on Langford. Langford is in there for McNeil.
1st down for Buffalo at their own 21-yard line. Booker Moore, Greg Bell, the running backs, play action fake. And the pass is complete. This time going to Tony Hunter. Has not played the last 5 weeks, out with a back injury. Number 1 draft choice a year ago. A.J. Dewey makes the tackle. Tony Hunter could be a big story today.
It's a play action pass. We'll see. Releases inside, a good jab step to help his release. Then he gets down, holds the linebacker A.J. Dewey to the inside, gives Ferguson the time to make his fake, then find it where his receiver is, and then get the ball in there. Tony Hunter, as you said, Charlie, will be a big factor in this ball game today, just coming back after injured reserve for 5 weeks.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3, 28-yard line. Head coach of the winless Buffalo Bills, Kay Stevenson. Greg Bell. Bell, a slashing type runner, and he will pick up the 1st down. Mike Charles makes the tackle. Now, Greg Bell, he got some heat early in the season. They said he wasn't running his pass routes that well, and he wasn't pass blocking that well. And I think that what happened is that the Bills got behind. They had to change the offense, and he wasn't prepared for it. I didn't think that he had the training or the knowledge to do that in the pros. They wanted too much too soon.
I think that's a good point, Charlie. At Notre Dame, he didn't catch the ball that much or block that well. But now in the pros, especially being behind, they're going to have to do a lot of throwing. He's filling some big shoes in Joe Cribbs.
1st down, 32-yard line. Buffalo in their own territory with a modest drive underway. Starting back at their 6. Ferguson has time, and they are throwing against Paul Langford. And the pass is incomplete. Preston Denard, the intended receiver. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Well, they are working on Langford. Don Shula has said that Langford and William Judson, the other cornerback, are the two of the 3 best athletes on his ball club. The other best athlete was Don McNeil, and he was injured last week. Langford can play. Shula says he just doesn't do it as consistently as he would like.
Ferguson has completed 2 of 3 for 16 yards. It is 2nd and 10, 32-yard line. 5 on the pattern, and pressure. And almost intercepted. Incomplete. Booker Moore, the intended receiver. Bob Brudzinski had his hands on it. He just couldn't pull it up. So it's 3rd down and 10. Tough job to motivate a team when you're 8-0 going against an 0-8 team. Has to be.
Well, that was a good point and a question that he was asked. I was out there and talked to him a little bit earlier in the week, and I said, what are you going to do? He says, well, he was talking about Ferguson being rested and Hunter coming back and Bellinger coming back. He talked about all the guys coming back and not about the minuses, so he's trying to get them up.
Extra receivers in the ball game for the Buffalo Bills. 3rd down and 10. And the pass is complete to Denard, but it will be short of the first down by 2, maybe 3 yards. So they'll pick up about 7. Glenn Blackwood makes the tackle. And that means that John Kidd will be kicking.
Take a look right here. The Dolphins trying to give Ferguson something. All 9 defensive backs or defensive players up there except these corners. Now watch when the ball is snapped. They'll run back. All the linebackers will drop straight back into zones. Ferguson looks downfield. Because of the zones, nobody is open.
John Kidd kicking with the wind. Has a little pressure. Gets a great one off. And he has been kicking well. And it'll go through the end zone, 61 yards, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So we've had an exchange of possessions, the Miami Dolphins and then the Buffalo Bills. We have no score, 6:24 left to go. We're in the first quarter.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way, moving up. You were always the one who's eager to try. You're on your way to the top, and along the way, you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob. Way you work and play, you've got it going your way. You love to share the way you feel. Michelob. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
I'm Jane Pauley. Tomorrow morning on Today, Valerie Bertinelli. Also, the New York Marathon winners and a hot young actor named Chris Collett. Join us tomorrow morning on Today.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy with the Orange Bowl scoreless opening between Miami and Buffalo. Miami with possession 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Buffalo 4 minutes 34 seconds. Marino going to work from his own 20-yard line. Far side. Pass is complete. All alone is Bruce Hardy, and he picks up a quick 19 before Stan David can make the tackle. Did they blow some coverage on him? Just a little.
So the Buffalo Bills are doing a lot of different things to Marino and the Dolphins. A little bit earlier on the first series, they changed up a little bit. Marino's looking downfield, and the coverage is such that it won't allow him to throw downfield. He dumps it off to Hardy in the flat. One of the defensive coaches after this play was over came over and was talking to Stan David, I believe it was, trying to correct him in his alignment on the pass drop.
39-yard line, first down. Marino 4 of 5, 27 yards passing. Tony Nathan. Nathan with a little stab step, a counter move, and he is past the 49-yard line behind the lead block of John Giesler. Wilson and Johnson with the tackle. It's a first down. Check of the finals. Dallas over Indianapolis 22-3. Chicago, Minnesota, the Bears winning. Pittsburgh 25, they win by. St. Louis defeats Philadelphia. Here we have no score with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Dolphins with the first down. Marino back to throw. It is complete. 31-yard line. 32 yards on the play. And it is Mark Duper.
Duper working on Charles Romes. Marino backpedaling, a good indication he may throw to his left. Fires this ball. Good catch because he's looking back into the sun. Great leaping ability by Duper.
They'll spot it, 31-yard line, so mark it officially for 20 yards and a first down. And that's 3 first downs in a row on this drive. 19, 10, and 20 yards. Woody Bennett. And they string him out, and Romes takes him out of bounds. Let's go back to the scoreboard. In the fourth quarter, Kansas City leading Tampa Bay by 4. And a final Cincinnati 31. Houston, they have their problems. 13. Final, Green Bay 41. Detroit 9. Not surprised with the score, but the margin, New Orleans by 2 over Cleveland. First quarter, 49ers leading the Rams by 3. Tony Nathan near the 11-yard line. A gain of 18 yards on the play. Now Dan Marino needs to throw for only 84 yards to break another of Bob Greasy's records. He broke 1 touchdown passes last week. He is 6 of 7 for 65 yards throwing.
Thanks a lot for reminding me, Joe.
I thought you would enjoy that. But the hot hand continues. Joe Carter. He'll pick up about 6. Woody Bennett with the lead block. Fred Smerlis and Jim Haslett with the tackle.
Gain of 5 yards.
Charlie Marino and the wide receivers Duper and Clayton get all the play, but the Miami running game is back. The last 2 ball games, they have run the ball very well. Over 200 yards last week against New England. Over 500 yards total offense for the Dolphins. The best offense going right now in the league.
2nd and 5 at the Buffalo 7-yard line. Marino to throw. Sits 4 in the pattern. Keeps Carter in the block. Goes into traffic. It is caught. Touchdown. It is Mark Clayton.
It's just one-on-one coverage. Clayton with the wide receiver. Take a look right here. He's just going to go straight into the end zone and make a hook. Carpenter, number 30. Expecting some help from the inside, which never comes. A strong-arm quarterback and a good, smart receiver staying away from the inside coverage.
Uwe von Schamann to attempt the point after. Out of the hold of Don Strock. It is good.
Marino, good protection. Waiting for his receiver. Breaks into the open. Good catch by Clayton.
Miami leads 7-0.
A Mercedes owner with an eye for exceptional cars has just seen one. The Continental Mark 7. He wants to get a better look at it. For now, he must be content with the knowledge that this new Mark gives Mercedes something it hasn't had before. Competition. The Continental Mark 7.
The essence of hitting. George Brett.
Some guys say it's the rhythm, reading the pitch. For me, it's a feeling that says I'm going downtown.
The essence of shaving.
This is Atra by Gillette. It pivots so the twin blades stay on your beard longer. But what Atra is all about is the feeling that says you just got Gillette's best shave.
Gillette, the essence of shaving.
In a game played earlier in the AFC East, New England coming from behind defeated the New York Jets, and there's a little-known story about New England. You may be one of the few that know it.
Last week, the Dolphins were in New England and played the Patriots up in Foxborough. And every Sunday, the Dolphins have a guest chapel speaker. The chapel speaker last week before the New England game in Foxborough was Raymond Berry. 2 days later, he was announced to be the head coach of those same Patriots.
And he led them to a victory over the New York Jets. And Miami playing the Jets in New York next week. Van Williams and Donald Wilson are the 2 deep backs as Uwe von Schamann kicks off. It is Donald Wilson on the return. And he slips and slides for 20 yards on the return. They'll mark it at the Buffalo 24-yard line, first down for the Bills. And that last scoring drive, 80 yards in 7 plays, and it consumed 3 minutes and 6 seconds, a 7-yard touchdown pass. from Dan Marino to Mark Clayton. That is the 25th touchdown pass for Marino this year. Now the NFL record is 36. George Blanda set the record in 1961, and Y.E. Tittle tied the record in 1968. So Buffalo goes to work, and they trail. Greg Bell, 27-yard line, so he picks up 3. It'll be second down and 7. A.J. Dewey with the tackle.
Even though the Bills have the wind at their back the first quarter, I think the Dolphins defense has the advantage because Ferguson is looking right into that sun. You can tell the shadows are very long, and even though you have the wind, you're looking into that sun. It's almost blinding for the quarterback, so it takes a little bit away from every offensive player that looks downfield into that sun.
Here's the draw. And Booker Moore is the ball carrier. Booker Moore and Speedy Neal will both be in there as a running back. Greg Bell will stay in most of the time. A.J. Dewey with the tackle. They'll mark it at the 29-yard line. So it'll be third down and 5. Mitchell Brookins comes in as a wide receiver. The Bills will go up as high as 5 wide receivers. Ferguson has completed 3 of 5 for 23 yards.
You see Ferguson looking into the sun, his eyes not shaded by his helmet.
Mark Kramer, the tight end, or the H-back in this situation, back to block for him as he unloads down the far side. Going to Mitchell Brookins. It is incomplete. It'll be 4th and 5. That means that John Kidd will come in to kick it away.
Ferguson seems to be moving pretty good. Obviously, the work of practice is going to give him a lack of practice will leave him a little bit rusty, but I don't think that hurts a quarterback that much, especially one that has been around as long as Joe has.
Fulton Walker set to return the punt of John Kidd. Kidd's first punt 61 yards, and his father Max played at Purdue.
All right.
Your alma mater. I knew you'd like that. Save that note. Here's another good one with the win. The 61-yarder was a club record. This is taken at the 12-yard line. To the 20. And then a quick dash for 5 more yards. 58 yards of the punt, a 12-yard return. Miami leads 7-0. Thoroughbred Racing's $10 million day is coming to NBC Sports. Breeders' Cup Championship Series.
The richest day in thoroughbred racing, $10 million. 7 races that will forever change the sport of kings. The Breeders' Cup, November 10th on NBC.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
We shaped the Mercury Cougar to help the car hug the highway. It's a shape you'll always feel good in. Just like that old leather jacket. Cougar. From Mercury.
All you ghouls and goblins gather round. Time for chills and thrills, so party down. No matter who you like to bite, you're gonna want Coors and Coors Light tonight.
Coors Light Beer Whoop is there. Fun is everywhere.
Get ready for excitement when Coors is on the scene.
'Cause anything can happen.
On a Coors and Coors Light Halloween.
We are back live, and let me bring you up to date what has happened. First of all, we've lost communications with the officials on the field. So we're now in a guessing game on timeouts. There was a flag down on that last punt, the penalty against the Bills, so that means that John Kidd repunted it. Mike Kozlowski with the return, much better field position, as you obviously can see here. The ball now at the Buffalo 47-yard line. Miami has a first down. So here we go. Miami leading Buffalo by a score of 7-0. 1:13 now left to go in the first quarter. Little play action, first down. Mark Duper. Duper went deep, and then he came back on the near sideline. Eugene Meyer with a tackle, but a gain of 21 yards.
Passing on first down. Watch the protection in the middle of the line. Little play action fake. Duper goes deep and comes back. Marino with plenty of time. Carpenter, number 30, has no chance on the coverage.
Buffalo, 26-yard line, first down. Marino now has thrown for 93 yards, 8 of 9. He hands off to Carter. Carter to the 10-yard line. But that means that Dan Marino has broken another of Bob Greasy's records. What do you say to that?
Well, I don't know about that, Charlie. I mean, what can you say? I mean, what the heck? I mean,
what is your reaction?
I talked to Dan a little bit earlier in the week, and I told him, I said, listen, take it a little bit easy on my records, wouldn't he? He says, they got to go. They've got to go.
They got to go. Miami has 9 first downs, 5 for the pass. The first quarter comes to a close with Miami leading Buffalo by a score of 7-0. And they are at the Buffalo 10-yard line. So don't go away. There's more fireworks. We'll be back.
My family gave me Radio Shack's portable Model 100 computer for Christmas last year. 5 built-in programs, including telephone communications. And this Christmas, it's on sale. A super gift for my son. He can take notes at college. And one for my wife, for the household budgeting. And maybe one for, nice computer. They're on sale at Radio Shack.
Save $200 now on the Model 100 portable computer, only at Radio Shack.
Bob, we're in the lobby. Hey, listen, we'll meet you out front in 5 minutes.
8 o'clock? I asked for a 7 o'clock wake-up call. What's wrong with this place?
Good morning, Nick St. Nick on the Big 96. 5 minutes past the hour, and if you had to be at work at 8 o'clock, you're late.
Ow, a simple thing like a wake-up call. Thanks, I'm already up. Next time, Ramada, where they know how to take care of business.
McDonald's presents the 15 hardest words to say.
2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame. Beef and all 15 words. Never get hurt, just start to say it.
Pickles, onions on a sesame seed.
Then you got to take a bite of one. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed.
Bun.
Records are made to be broken. We've certainly seen that with Dan Marino. Some records, though, are not made to be broken. And they're in a storyline. But we'll get back to it. And it involves a long-distance phone call. Marino fires. It is caught. A flag is down. It'll be touchdown. There's pass interference. Dan Johnson has it. 10 yards and the score.
On the defense, the ball is deflected. No foul.
No interference on a deflection. Dan Johnson with a sore ribs, lined up right here, will come down the field and break across. Marino reads it very well. 6 points for the Dolphins. You see the coverage, straight back. He is hit just before the ball gets there, but the ball was deflected, no interference.
And Uwe von Schaman adds the point after. 3 plays, 47 yards in the drive, took it 1 minute and 20 seconds. And now, with 14:53 left to go, first half, Miami leads Buffalo 14-0.
On November to
remember, L.A.
An historic first showdown between Raider sensation Marcus Allen and the incredible Walter Payton.
A November to remember, Chicago.
When these two great running backs start heating things up, the climate at the lakefront could be considerably warmer.
The Raiders battle the Bears. The NFL plays here.
Our team plays here.
It's nasty out there. Some day to run.
Soup looks good.
You still nervous about tomorrow?
Well, it is my first 10K run. I just hope I can do it.
Of course you can. You worked hard, ate right. Here, eat your Campbell's. It's good for you.
Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup. It's nice when something that tastes so good can make you feel so good.
I'm surprised you're worried about finishing.
Finishing? I'm worried about winning.
Campbell's soup is good food.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
This flight doesn't get scrubbed for bad weather. A high-performance fighter has the technology to handle it. So does this, the all-weather Delco Freedom Battery, with the power to start you in the cold and the technology to beat the heat. And you never add a drop of water. Never wait for trouble. Get the all-weather Delco Freedom Battery.
From $39.95 for a Series 40, call 800-AC Delco.
The Dolphins trailing once this season. That was the first game.
And that was only 67 seconds against the Redskins opening day.
And Marino threw for 5 touchdown passes in that ball game. He was already thrown 2 here. It is 14-0 as Uwe von Schaman kicks off. Donald Wilson will down it in the end zone. Well, let's go to the Buffalo scouting report.
One of the things that Buffalo likes to do in possession situations, they call these 3 receivers a covey. One will break down and go deep one way. The other crossing will come. He is the outlet. These 2 receivers will come over this way. The man in the middle of the field. Some of the things that the Buffalo Bills like to do, get 5 receivers downfield, looks deep, and then he throws short if it's an outlet receiver.
Buffalo down 14-0. First down their own 20-yard line with 14:47 time remaining second quarter. Ferguson drops this one over the middle to Booker Moore. And Moore kind of slides out, 28-yard line, gain of 8, second down and a couple as Ernie Roan makes the tackle. Now, I mentioned a long-distance phone call. Well, we got one from the great Paul McGuire, formerly played for the Buffalo Bills. I mentioned, and I was incorrect, that John Kidd, the 61-yard punt, was a club record. It was not a club record. It was a personal record. The club record is held by Marv Bateman of 78 yards. Tied by Paul McGuire at 78 yards. And a first down for the Bills. Greg Bell, 12 yards to the 40-yard line as Glenn Blackwood will bring him down there.
Johnson, first down, Buffalo. Gain of 12 yards.
Patriots, the Bills, I'm talking about the Patriots because of last week's ball game and this week. But here we see Bell coming through a nice opening. The Bills passing first, running second, even though it's the beginning of the second quarter. But they've been in this situation before, Charlie, behind the Dolphins early in the ball game. They were behind in Buffalo. They were behind last year. Ferguson is now going to open up the offense, pass first, and run second.
And that magnificent offensive machine of the Dolphins, 141 yards first quarter total offense. Buffalo 38, here's Rob Ritter. And Paul Langford is there for the defense, and a flag is down.
Ball was knocked out of the receiver's hands. I think it was, I couldn't tell who the defensive player was that knocked it out.
Was it Brzezinski that knocked it out?
It's got to be a boost for Langford to be in his first game. Already been thrown at a couple of times.
And I was all wrapped up with Paul McGuire and his story. It wasn't a flag. You saw it. Fumble. Miami has the ball. We'll be back.
America's driving over. America's driving to Firestone.
Firestone's Drive Over Sale. Save up to 30% on tires, Mastercare service, batteries. Save on every size 721 steel belted radio from only $29.95. Plus, save on Mastercare awarded service, tune-ups, shocks, batteries, and more. Firestone's Drive Over Sale at Firestone now.
Watch closely.
You're about to learn how to prepare a very practical Ford Escort Turbo GT to accelerate like a very fast performance car. The new Ford Escort Turbo GT. Further modifications are not required. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. By light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by your Firestone retailers coast to coast. Come on, America, drive over to Firestone.
Paul Langford recovered the fumble for the Dolphins. The ball at the Buffalo 44-yard line, first down. And Marino now with an opportunity just to blow it wide open. Flag is down. This one is intercepted. But there was a marker on the play. Charles Rome. Rome's to the 40, to the 30, cuts back. Marino underneath. Rome's with the interception. There was a flag. Normally that's offensive holding. 2 flags were dropped. If it holds up only the 6th time that Marino has been intercepted, the Bills are right back in it.
Holding, 57 offense, penalty refused, first down Buffalo.
We'll see right here, 57 is Stevenson. Watch him, and we'll see if we can see that where he holds. Right there, if you stop it, you can see him right here as he holds Smurlis as he's going by. Marino had to get rid of the ball. Smurlis was right in the backfield with him. It's a play-action pass. It's a fake trap play. Smurlis gets around, and Marino throws it very quickly. They had coverage to that side. Rome picks it off. It's a big play for the Bills, something that they need at this juncture of the ball game.
The Dolphins have been the least penalized team in the NFL the last 14 years. Currently, they are second in that category. Cincinnati has the record coming into this ball game with the fewest penalties. Same number, fewer yards. Here's Greg Bell. Flag is down. And Bell is down at the 3-yard line, but the flag was dropped back at the 15-yard line, and it'll be a hooking call.
You can see him talking to Will Grant, the center. This is the thing that has stopped the Bills all season long, Charlie. One of the things, penalties at the wrong time.
53 offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It is on Will Grant, and it's almost been a self-destruct last week in the game against the Denver Broncos. Every time that Buffalo did something on offense, and a penalty would bring it back. It's been a frustrating year for
K. Stevenson up the wall. I think it just gets back to practice habits, and you just can't allow it in practice because it carries over to the ball game. But if the Dolphins are the least penalized, the Bills are, I think, the 6th from the bottom, or 6th from the top as far as the most penalized team in the league.
They've been hit 3 times for 20 yards. Miami, once it was refused. Little play action by Ferguson. Stands in. He's hit. The ball is loose. It is scooped up. Baumhauer has it. And Miami has a football. Mike Charles knocked it loose, and Bob Baumhauer came up with it. So the Dolphins have a pair of fumble recoveries to their credit.
You can't do these types of things and win football games. Baumhauer is right here. He'll be in the backfield. Ferguson on a little play action. Gets around. The ball is free. But these are the types of things that you can't do. They had first and 10 inside the 15-yard line. A holding penalty sets them back, and then a fumble recovery. That's why the Bills are 0-8.
I tell you, playing polo is a lot tougher than it looks.
Sure is.
And even though the horses do the running, you still can work up a thirst.
So after a chucker or two, we equestrians drink light beer from Miller.
Yeah, light tastes great, and it's got a third less calories than a regular beer.
And it's less filling.
And that's important, because tomorrow we're going to try our hand at water polo.
Yeah, I sure hope those horses can swim.
Me too.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
The minute you see the Mazda 626 sports sedan, you know you're looking at a very refined roadster.
car. And when you look closer, you discover a comfortable driver's seat that adjusts 6 ways, unexpectedly complete instrumentation, and you feel a smooth shifting 5-speed. At $84.95, you also know you're looking at an impressive value. But once you get behind the wheel, the looking all stops and the fun begins. Mazda 626 Sports Sedan. Experience it.
The Challenger. Jose Luis Ramirez, a 25-year-old southpaw with an incredible 70 KOs. The Defender. Edwin Rosario, feared in the ring, loved by his countrymen. The WBC Lightweight Championship, a November to remember on NBC Sports World.
On the left, Joe Ferguson on the phone to Paul McGuire. No, he saw, of course, the coaches upstairs. And Bob Baumauer, number 73, recovered the fumble. Mike Charles jarred it loose. So Miami gets the break back. They've got 2 turnovers. The Bills have 1. Dolphins have the ball on their own 28-yard line. And they come back opening on the ground. Woody Bennett. Jim Haslett makes the tackle. Ball's going to be just shy of the first down. They may want to take the... No, they're not going to bring... Yes, they are going to bring the chains up. So as the chains come out, Bob, Buffalo with a big opportunity, pull within 7, and the penalty, and then the fumble.
As we said, as we went into commercial, Charlie, and that is the things you don't do if you want to be a good football club in the league. When you have an opportunity, the defense turned it around for you. The offense comes out, a penalty, and then a fumble, and now you're back in a hole. If they could have went in and scored 14-7, the Bills would have been right back in the ballgame.
It is a first down for Miami at their own 38-yard line. Matt Moore coming in as a wide receiver. And Joe Carter, the ball carrier. Carter goes to the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. Let's go to New York City.
All right, in the L.A. Coliseum, Mark Wilson, who had 5 touchdowns a week ago, has hooked up with Marcus Allen. This touchdown pass covers 36 yards. Earlier, Rod Martin sacked Gary Kubiak for a safety, so it's 9-0. The Raiders are out in front of Denver. Back to you, Charlie.
Raiders out in front of that ball game. One of the big games that we're looking forward to in NBC Sports early on, first weekend in December. The Raiders will be playing the Dolphins here in the Orange Bowl. Second down and 4, and a first down going to the far side to Nat Moore. Brian Carpenter and Steve Freeman on the tackle, and a pickup of 11 yards on the play.
Earlier we talked about the Bills trying to do something different than they did the last time when they played the Dolphins. They're now playing a 4-man defensive front, which is a lot different than they normally showed. Normally just a 3 defensive lineman, 4 linebacker, trying to mix up the blocking scheme of the Dolphins.
The line of scrimmage, the Buffalo 45-yard line. Miami 12 first downs, Buffalo 3. Matt Moore in motion. Second back through is Carter, jumps to the outside. Near the 40-yard line. We'll give him 5. It'll be second and 5. Steve Freeman with the tackle. Now, Joe Carter did not play the first time these 2 teams met on Monday night in Buffalo. But he was healthy enough. He had a preseason injury, but he was healthy for that game, but Don Shula held him out.
He didn't want to play him up in Buffalo on a Monday night on artificial turf. He had a shoulder problem. He didn't want to bring him back. He wanted to bring him back in an ideal situation. He wanted to be a home game. He wanted to be on grass in front of the home folks. Very similar to the way he handled Marino last year. Bring him along slowly, put him in a positive situation.
And build up that confidence. Carter, 5 carries, 35 yards. That's a 7-yard average. Marino complete. Duper. And Duper in a vice at the 30-yard line, but he'll pick up 10 in the first down. Charles Romes, who has the interception, makes the tackle.
We'll see Duper over here. He's just going to come down and break out. Romes has got to give him a lot of room because of the speed of Duper. Just goes down, breaks to the outside. With the reason they're doing that, they're not double covering the wide receivers. They're trying to get a rush on Marino. There's 2 ways, 2 schools of thought. Rush him or cover the receivers. They're trying to rush the passer right now.
Duper, 3 receptions, 51 yards. 30-yard line. Tony Nathan. Flag is down. Nathan has about 3. Stan Dan David, the rookie out of Texas Tech, makes the tackle. And the penalty will be against the Dolphins. Today's telecast, presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent. Notice that little pause there? You like that?
It's very nice.
Without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited.
Ed Newman didn't appreciate it.
No. He would just assume that you just press never onward. First down and 20. Holding 64. Is that what he said?
Holding 64, Ed Newman.
We're having a little problems with the mic of Gene Barth, the referee. The ball at the Buffalo 40-yard line. Reno fires. Coverage. It is caught. Clayton. Double coverage. 34 yards on the play.
This is just an unbelievable throw. 22 Freeman was turning to double him. As you'll see, Freeman right there running short of him. The cornerback, 30 Carpenter, was behind him, and the safety, Donald Wilson, was inside of him. Most quarterbacks wouldn't throw it. I'm sure defensive coordinators, when they look at that on film, will shake their heads. It's the type of thing they've been doing all year.
For Mark Clayton, his second reception, 41 yards. The other was for a touchdown. And Pete Johnson is in along with Woody Bennett. 7-yard line. First down goal to go. Miami leading 14-0. Woody Bennett, flags are all over the place. Woody Bennett goes down about the 1. Pete Johnson with the lead block. Holding Miami.
Really unusual to get the call.
Holding, 61 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Holding on Roy Foster.
It's really unusual for the Dolphin offensive line to have this many holds to the right of your screen. See if we can take a look. Right there. 61 Roy Foster is almost like takedown on 59 David.
The eyes of the quarterback. Always searching, always probing. 16-yard line. Flag is down again. Joni Nathan goes to the 11. Darrell Talley makes the tackle. There's a marker on the near side and the far side. Buffalo offside.
Kay Stevenson has had a great attitude about being 0-8, as great as you can have, I guess, when he says, you know, we're going to go back and try to win each ball game as we come along.
Defense, number 76 offside, 5-yard penalty, will repeat the down.
Fred Schmerlis offside. They'll take the penalty and replay the down.
They realize they've had a problem, Charlie, in some of their offense last year, your yards penalized, as you see right there. But from last year to this year, they've lost 4 key players offensively. I'll get back to that in a minute.
Okay, first down, still first down goal to go. Now it's at the 11-yard line. Started at the 7, went back to the 16, then back to the 11. And here is Joe Carter to the 5-yard line. So he picks up 6. Is now second down goal to go. Sean McNanny, the rookie from San Diego State, taken in the 3rd round of the draft, making the stop on the play.
Dolphins' offensive line is just dominating the line of scrimmage. At this point, the Bills have to do something to stop their running game. The running game, the passing game, the Dolphins are hitting on both accounts, and the Bills at this point don't really know what to do.
8 minutes, 21 seconds, time remaining first half. Miami out in front 14-0. Joe Carter, 6 carries, 41 yards rushing. In the last 2 games, Carter's been averaging 7.3 yards a carry. Passes dropped. Tony Nathan. And Romes was there just to cover, but Nathan should have caught it. It'll be 3rd down goal to go.
Coming right at you, 22 is Tony Nathan. Marino looks downfield for a second. There was double coverage downfield. Very catchable ball.
Nat Moore and Jimmy Cefalo check into the offense. Marino 12 of 15, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. of the drive. Tipped, incomplete. And that means that Uwe von Schamann will come on with a field goal attempt. So following the fumble recovery by Bob Baumauer, Miami moving from their own 28-yard line to the Buffalo 5 and then stalled at that point.
It's a big play by the defense just to keep him out of the end zone, make him kick a field goal. You're still in the ball game, but a good play. That time they dropped 8 people, only rushed 3. That's why Marino had so much time to throw.
From the 17, an attempt of 27 yards. And it is good. Uwe von Schamann from 27 yards away. So Miami now leads Buffalo 17-0.
Only Mazda's got a sporty truck for just $59.95.
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed, radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, step bumper, and dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive!
Mazda SE5. Us syncopators of Progressive Ribs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I finger pop with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than their regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shabam. It's lay down, break down, birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
An NBC movie premiere. Heather Locklear faces a madman who would kill thousands to possess her. Simon & Simon's Gerald McRaney must protect her from the city killer tonight.
Total offense, Miami 235 yards. Buffalo 57. Score 17-0. The Dolphins. Donald Wilson. 21-yard line.
You just saw a shot of Kay Stevenson talking with Joe Ferguson, and what they were saying was, let's just go out and get one. Do whatever you have to. Just get one touchdown, make it 17-7, and just score one time. There was no give up in that conversation. Just what can we do? What have the Dolphins done? Let's go out and march it down and score one touchdown.
7 minutes, 45 seconds left to go, second quarter. Number 28, the rookie from Notre Dame, Greg Bell, taken in the first round of the draft. He graduated from Notre Dame in 3.5 years with a Bachelor of Science in Economics degree and is now enrolled in their master's program. Here's Booker Moore, and a flag is down. Booker has a couple, maybe 3. Bob Baumauer with the tackle if the play stands up. Holding against the Bills. The frustration continues.
The frustration on the head coach. Let's get the call here.
72 offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Holding call on Ken Jones.
And that was just a straight-ahead running play. I don't know, it's got to be something in their practice habits. I think they've had 3 holding penalties already. We have 7 minutes to go in the first half. But if Kay Stevenson is frustrated, he doesn't show it to you. It doesn't show. You don't see it on his face, but I can guarantee you he's frustrated. But those types of things have got to leave your offense to be able to move down the field and score touchdowns.
Rob Riddick and Booker Moore are the running back. First down, 20. Ferguson. Has the first down. I was surprised he was able to pick up 20 yards. I thought 10 and head to the sideline. 21 yards.
Joe's over there catching his breath as he walks back. He's going to take his time. Nobody was open downfield. The Dolphins were playing man-to-man coverage. This is why he could run this far downfield, because all the defensive linebackers were running downfield covering somebody. Nobody was covering the quarterback. picks up a big first down. I think this tells you that Joe is well enough to scramble a little bit if he has to. He's had an ankle problem the last couple of weeks.
That is only the 4th first down for Buffalo in the ballgame. Bills at their own 32-yard line. Ferguson pass is complete to Booker Moore. He fumbles and Buffalo recovers. Near the 40-yard line, Bob Brzezinski made the tackle and Tony Hunter recovered the fumble. They'll mark it at the 39.
Ferguson is doing all he can to get something going. Not the primary receiver, but everybody is covered. Dump it off to your running back, see if he can get some yardage. Brzezinski knocks it loose. Tony Hunter coming back and recovering the ball.
2nd down and 3, gain of 7 to the 39. Ferguson 6 of 9 for 42 yards. Greg Bell to the 50. And he just ran out of room on the far side. Out of bounds at the Miami 40-yard line. And a gain of 21 for the rookie. William Judson was putting the pressure on the sideline.
3.5 years, you say he got out of college, Charlie?
Yes.
He learned this system pretty well. Steps inside the blitzing linebacker and then back outside the block of Preston Denard. Gets good yardage. Judson will force him out of bounds.
In the last 4 weeks, Greg Bell has had 2 100-yard games. Miami 40-yard line first down. Buffalo trying to get an offense moving. To Bell. Booker Moore tried to put on the brakes and left a skid mark just inside the 35-yard line. It'll go for a gain of 5, maybe 6. It'll be 2nd down.
A little bit earlier I was talking about the problems the Bills are having offensively. Ferguson last year had Joe Cribbs, who was their leading pass receiver and their leading rusher. He's gone to the USFL. Jerry Butler, the #1 receiver, wide receiver, the #2 receiver on the team, has been injured all year. Frank Lewis has retired. Tony Hunter has just gotten back. All 4 of those players were the top receivers last year on the ball club.
Greg Bell, he'll have a yard. That's about it. Doug Betters makes the tackle as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're watching WESH-TV, Channel 2, Daytona Beach, Orlando, Florida.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy. 6 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. Miami, they're looking to be 9-0. Buffalo, they're trying to break that 0 for September and October. It's 17-0. The Dolphins out in front. 3rd down, 4 to go.
Ferguson is up there at the line of scrimmage. He is looking at 9, 10 defensive players right across the line. Are they going to blitz or aren't they? Yes, they are.
And the pass is complete. Ferguson, the wily veteran from the University of Arkansas in his 12th year, reading the blitz as Preston Denard was on the receiving end. Gain of 16.
This is great execution by Ferguson. They're all up here on the line of scrimmage. If they come, which they do, this man breaks his pattern off to the inside. Ferguson can't block everybody, but his receiver can catch the ball before they get to him. That's what you call an onside adjustment. You can't check to that because if you check to it, sometimes they'll back out of it, and you don't want to do it, so you make an onside adjustment, both the receiver and the quarterback on the same page.
The ball at the Miami 17-yard line, so the Bills with their 2nd opportunity. They need to put some points on the board. That'll get them back into the game. Here's Bell. Closed up inside, jumps outside, has 2 to the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Charles Bowser with the tackle. Buffalo, Bob, as you know, a slow starting team this year. They've been outscored 3-1 in the first half, 147 points to 50 points. Yeah. And they've been in several of the, in the previous 8 ball games. They've been in 4 or 5 of them.
The thing the Bills really need to do is eliminate mistakes. They need to stop making penalties and stop dropping the ball and putting it on the ground. If they would eliminate that, they may have had 1 touchdown and going for a 2nd here.
2nd down and 8 at the Miami 15. Miami leading 17-0. Ferguson's pass is incomplete. Booker Moore, the intended receiver. Bob Boylston, the umpire, had to duck to see the ball come sailing over his shoulder.
sometimes, as you'll see, watch the umpire in the middle of your screen. As we take a look, as he's dropping back to pass, sometimes you can't see. See, Ferguson has 2 or 3 people in front of him. He throws it right to the umpire and says, let me get out of here. But you can see all that massive humanity in there. Sometimes it's hard to see your receiver's jersey. Sometimes that red helmet helps.
Ferguson, 9 of 12. Third down and 8, and he is sacked. Bowser got it.
Give credit for this sack to the defensive secondary. Just good coverage. Take a look at Will Grant as he holds on in the middle. Everybody is covered. Nobody's open downfield. Good pressure by the Dolphins.
Fourth down, 18 at the 25 now from the 33, an attempt to 43 yards by Joe Danello. He has a 52-yarder. And it is no good as he misses to the right. So once again, Buffalo comes out without changing that number on the scoreboard. 17-0, Miami leads.
When you first see the Mazda RX-7, you begin to understand why it has become a legend among today's sports cars. Because beyond its classic styling, you soon discover the sheer perfection of its bucket seats. You experience its comprehensive instrumentation and feel the preciseness of its 5-speed. These things alone help make it an exceptional value. But to gain an even deeper understanding of the RX-7, you're going to have to experience roads like these for yourself. Mazda RX-7. Experience it.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Miller Time begins here, where Miller High Life waits for the finest ingredients to reach their golden best. Then we go beyond ingredients and use the finest brewing skills, making sure Miller High Life contains no additives and no preservatives. So come your Miller Time, you get nothing but the fresh, smooth taste of just pure beer. Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
America's favorite pastime.
It will be a November to remember on NBC Sports. Breeders' Cup bowling, NFL football, skins game, and boxing. Miami, first down, their own 25-yard line. Joe Carter continues on his roll. He has been averaging for the last 2+ games, that is including this one, right at 7 yards a carry. 7 carries, 51 yards here. Charles Romes with a tackle.
And a great block by Ed Newman on the linebacker. Really opened up the hole for Carter. We mentioned Ed Newman when he holds. We ought to give him credit, I guess, when he makes a good block.
You bet. That was Miami's 15th first down in the first half. And a moment ago, Buffalo, another missed opportunity. Reno pump fake, and it is incomplete. It was catchable, but a bit low to Tony Nathan.
Second down and 10.
What is it like to be a nose tackle? Fred Smirlis was an All-America wrestler at Boston College.
Number 76 against Dwight Stevenson. 2 All-Pros, perennial All-Pros, fighting it out in the middle. Stevenson holding on a little bit. That is a great matchup between 2 real competitors.
Smirlis in 4 Pro Bowls. And Dwight Stevenson playing, was it his first last year?
It was his second.
Second?
First.
First. It was his first. Gotcha. Second down and 10. Pressure. Reno steps away, has more pressure. He throws back. It's incomplete. Going to Dan Johnson, who has caught 1 touchdown pass. Mark Clayton has caught the other one. Ben Williams was putting the pressure on Marino. It'll be third down and 10.
Marino always in control. Barely avoided the sack. The Dolphins, of course, leads the league with the fewest sacks. you know, do you give the credit to the offensive line or do you give it to the quarterback? And I think you're seeing here today, you got to give a lot of credit to the quarterback because he is avoiding it. Certainly the offensive line is due for some credit, but the quarterback can help that situation too.
Miami has been impressive on third down conversions this year, right at 50%. This one is caught. Mark Clayton. Clayton down the sideline. To the 15, 10. He'll score. Third down and 10 at the 35, 65 yards. The crowd tells the story.
Marino doesn't seem too excited. It's because he knows he didn't do anything to earn this touchdown. He throws this ball up for grabs. It's Clayton that sees the ball all the way, goes up and catches it, and then makes a tremendous run to get in the end zone. You think the Dolphins aren't explosive. It's a second-year man, an 8th-round draft choice from the University of Louisville that has 9 touchdowns now on the season.
7 coming in and 2 today for this man, Mark Clayton. 3 receptions, 106 yards already for Clayton in the game. Uwe von Schamann will go for the point after out of the hole of Don Strauss. It is good. Miami 24 and Buffalo nothing. 2:33. That is the time remaining in the first half. And the Miami machine rolls on.
Welcome! They said he couldn't retrieve his own shadow, but you didn't give up on him. Now comes your time. To Miller Time! And Miller Time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer is what you have in mind.
Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
We looked at a lot of sport trucks, but we bought the lowest priced one in America, Mazda's new B2000 Sport LE. And while it's nice to know it comes standard with sporty 2-tone paint, radials with spoker wheels, chrome bumpers, bucket seats, and a 5-speed, it's even nicer to know it's priced over $1,300 less than Nissan's or Toyota's sport trucks.
Sakes alive. Sakes alive. Sakes alive. Only Mazda's got a sport truck for just $67.95. Sakes alive.
The 2 head coaches. 24-0 Miami. Uwe von Schamann will be kicking off to either Donald Wilson or Van Williams. It is Wilson at the goal line to the 10. And he is smothered at the 18-yard line. We'll take a timeout with now 2:22 as a red helmet rolls away. We'll be back in just a moment.
But after the Army...
I thought you wanted to be an electrical engineer.
I'll be learning about electronics, and I can qualify for the Army College Fund.
If you qualify, the Army College Fund will help you accumulate as much as $20,100 for tuition.
So you're going to be a soldier?
Be all that you can be. And an engineer. You can do it.
Be a good one.
In the Army.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, time is everything. Beer drinkers come to us because we've been brewing in extra quality for the last 129 years. That's a lot of our time. But it's the reason you spend your time with us when you want the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Last year, this helmet was worn for the Buffalo Bills, and of course the Dolphins wearing this helmet.
4 of the 5 teams in the Eastern Division had white helmets. That makes it tough sometimes for the quarterback to see downfield if he can't see over the lineman. What the Bills did this year, changed their helmet color to red helps the quarterback see downfield sometimes when you can't see the jersey color.
So you quarterbacks need all the help you can get.
Yes, especially when you can't see too far.
That's right. Makes a big difference because you see that red streak, you know he's your guy.
Exactly.
All right. Buffalo goes to work, their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun. Ferguson is chased. Flag is down. Pass is complete. Charles Bowser was chasing him. Byron Franklin caught the pass, and there was a flag at the 9-yard line. Notice the eyes. I think the eyes were just searching. So what is it now? That's the kind of look.
I've been in that position before. Let's get the call here.
The options being discussed.
But as far as the quarterback is concerned, you start saying, what next? What's going to happen next?
Illegal use of the hands, number 72 defense. Still first down after this is free goal line.
Second time Ken Jones has been called.
Ken Jones, 72 with the call, but as a quarterback, you're trying to get something going. You're trying to make a really good running play or a pass play, and you keep getting all these penalties thrown up in your face and all of the fumbles, and you're saying, what do I have to do now? It's very dejecting, not only to the quarterback, to the entire offensive team.
First down and 20, 9-yard line. Inside handoff. Rob Riddick. And Riddick is out of bounds at the 15. So he gets 6 yards back. It'll be second down and 14. Robert Sowell was there on the sideline for the Dolphins. That stops the clock with 2:08 to go in the first half.
I think one of the reasons we're seeing Riddick, Charlie, is because it is a very hot and humid day, unseasonably hot for this time of year. It almost feels like it's a July day, but alternating his running backs just to give him a blow every now and then.
Second down and 14. The lights on here in the Orange Bowl. Ferguson is sacked. Third sack for the Dolphins. 21 on the year. And Bowser has 2 of the 3.
Ferguson will be looking downfield, and there is nobody open. The coverage was tight enough to allow. He had time initially. Now he has to step up. Bowser, one of the quickest players on the team, sees it and gets a cheap sack. Cheap by cheap, I mean he saw him scramble around. He was quick enough to get to him.
Miami now has taken a timeout with 2:02 left to go. The reason that they do this is they want the football another time. That means that after the next play, Chuck Studley, defensive coach, but after the next play, the clock will stop automatically for the 2-minute warning. We'll take a full timeout then and a commercial break. But then Miami playing the game of numbers against the clock when you near that 2-minute mark will have more time on offense.
And Buffalo will be kicking into the strong wind that is still blowing here in the Orange Bowl. Kay Stevenson and Ferguson just trying to talk about getting a first down. It's 3rd and 22. The other thing they're talking about is not turning the ball over.
And coming up at halftime, be sure to join us for AFL Remembered on NFL 84. We'll take a look at the American Football League's great receivers, Don Maynard, Lance Alworth, Fred Biletnikoff, and some of those that will be featured. Sure to bring back nice memories. AFL Remembered at halftime, and of course all of the scores and highlights around the National Football League today. Third down and 22. Buffalo at their own 7-yard line. Pass is complete to Rob Riddick. Riddick to the 15-yard line, so he gets 8 back, and that only means that John Kidd will be kicking from a different location on the field. We'll be back in just a moment as we have the 2-minute warning. Miami leads it 24-0.
I've been an executive in the oil business for more than 20 years. I've always been hardworking, and I love honest competition. But you know, when I'm on the road, the thing that's uppermost in my mind is my family. I'm on the phone with my wife, Betty, and my kids all the time. I've got 6 of them, and they truly are the joy of my life. I love my family, and that's why I care about the kind of community they're going to live in. That's why I'm part of the United Way leadership team that's helping to solve people's problems in my community.
United Way services all kinds of people.
I think that's an extremely... I'm a pretty busy guy, but I always find the time to take in an NFL game on the weekend.
This is my favorite occupation.
I'm Gene Barth, an NFL referee. I've always been a professional on the field, and I try to be a professional in my community. Among my colleagues in the NFL, you'll find doctors, teachers, lawyers, but they're all part of the NFL family on game day.
And United Way is part of the NFL family, too.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Here's the referee, Gene Barth. You just heard his voice. You'll be hearing it, of course, throughout the game. And this is the rest of his crew. And, of course, you saw Gene on the United Way spot just a moment ago. John Kidd will be kicking. He's been averaging, with the wind, almost 50 yards. This is against the wind. It's not too bad. And the fair catch is taken at the 49-yard line by Mike Kozlowski, but this one is 36 yards into the wind. Now you see why Miami called that timeout right before the 2-minute warning. They have the ball with excellent field position, 51 yards from the end zone at their own 49-yard line. And with a quick strike offense of the Dolphins, they got time for two.
I think it's safe to say that they're in scoring range. They're on the 49-yard line and have a minute and 46 seconds to go with Duper and Marino and Clayton. Their offensive line, they have 2 Pro Bowlers on there.
And total offense already 310 yards from Miami. That's almost a game load in the first half. Pass is complete to Nat Moore. And the hurry-up offense for Miami. Eugene Marv and Rodney Bellinger with the tackle. 44-yard line, Buffalo. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Dropping it off to his hot receiver, Tony Nathan, who was slipping out of the backfield. He was there to block. As soon as everybody, the penetration had come past him, he's the hot man. He swings out. He was all alone. There's nobody to pick him up. Lawrence Johnson with the tackle. Dolphins stop the clock.
Little timeout. Take a look at Mark Clayton. Seems to be having some problems.
Too much breakfast. Certainly glad you were there to share that one with us. But again, you know the feeling, don't you? I talk about our cameraman. We have everything covered that is happening. 1 minute and 18 seconds. So as soon as Bob Greasy stops laughing and puts his headset back on, we'll get a full report. Now, it's a first down at the 33-yard line. The quirks of human nature.
Oh. See Jim Jensen, number 11, going in the ball game. They're trying to talk about what they're going to do offensively, get some more points on the board.
And Mark Clayton is sick. He's one of the, is that the team doctor that is out?
Yes, it's Charlie Virgin.
I believe so.
The team physician.
What is it, the heat and the humidity and the fact that you've been getting hit in the stomach as much as anything else?
I think exactly, Charlie. He's had a couple of long touchdown runs. He's been in the action. He's been knocked around a little bit, and it is very hot and humid here.
Which is an advantage for the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have always felt they've had that advantage from this point in the season on.
No question about that. Any team that comes down here. Now, this time of year, though, it should not be that big of a factor, but for the last few days, it has been very hot and humid. The Bills just caught it at a bad time when they're coming in here. The late start, the 4 o'clock start, is going to help them, but still, it's very humid on that field.
Here's a program note. Next Saturday on NBC Sports World, WBC lightweight champion Edwin Rosario fights top contender Jose Luis Ramirez, live from Puerto Rico. They met last year, a wild bout. And don't miss the long-awaited rematch of the top lightweights in the battle for the WBC championship next Saturday, live at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC Sports World. It's a November to remember on NBC Sports. We go back to action. The ball at the Buffalo, just inside the 34. Officially it's called the 33. It's a first down. Marino already has thrown for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. This one is complete to Nat Moore, and it's a first. No, it's not a first down. 27-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Darryl Talley makes the tackle at second down 4. Coverage, it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney Bellinger, the rookie from the University of Miami here in Florida. Marino, coming into this game, had been intercepted only 5 times. This is the second time that he has been intercepted in this ball game. Was he just in too much of a hurry and the coverage was there?
He's got a strong arm. He's got very confident. He's having a little problem. The ball, he didn't throw the ball very well, but it would have been intercepted. 4 bills around it. His problem is now he's had so much success. It's similar to what Namath first had when he came up. He has such confidence in his arm. He thinks he can throw it anywhere and get it in. Most of the time he has some great receivers like we saw earlier today. Mark Duper went up and took the ball away. They protect him a lot. That time the ball was poorly thrown and it was intercepted. If I can find any fault in what he's done, sometimes he throws the ball into areas that he shouldn't.
Is that because of youth and inexperience? He's really only starting his second season in the NFL now.
He is so confident of his abilities and has such a strong arm. He thinks he can get it anywhere and has most of the year.
Buffalo from their own 6-yard line. Pass is complete at the 10 to Byron Franklin. Gain of 4. Be second down and 6. 44 seconds left to go first half. That is the first reception for Byron Franklin, and he has been having by far his best season. Number 3 wide receiver in the National Football League. He has 41 receptions coming into the game for 552 yards. So the Dolphin defense is taking care of him for most of the first half. And at halftime, all the scores and highlights, NFL 84. One of the questions you asked was, could Don Shula motivate an 8-0 team against an 0-8 team? He obviously has. We'll talk more about that at the end of halftime. You saw Mark Clayton. He is taking a deep breath right now.
You're down 24-0, 44 seconds to go. You're on your own 12-yard line. The primary concern is don't turn the ball over. If we can do something good to get it downfield and just get at least a field goal, that would be gravy, but we want to make an effort to move it, but don't turn it over.
Buffalo with 2 timeouts remaining. Rob Riddick. Now the point of the catch is the point of the game, so it will be a first down at the 17-yard line. Glenn Blackwood with a hit for the Dolphins. And now Buffalo with their hurry-up offense. 24 seconds and counting. Ferguson throws. This pass is complete. Tony Hunter. No, it was Preston Denard, excuse me. At the 20-yard line, so he'll pick up about 3. The Dolphins are letting him have all the short stuff. And they'll take a timeout. 14 seconds left first half.
Dolphins have a very tough defense anyway. The number 2 defense in the National Football League as far as points are concerned. Only Denver has allowed fewer points. You see the linebackers dropping straight back, not covering anybody in particular, with everybody with good vision. Everybody with good vision on the quarterback. Ferguson looks downfield to see if he can throw it deep. You read deep to short. He comes back and drops it off to a short receiver.
So they're taking the deep back, the deep receiver, the middle receiver, and all that is left is Preston Denard, and he picks up 3-4 yards.
When you're a quarterback, you would like to see the safety in the middle of the field go somewhere. Come up and cover somebody or go to his right or left so the middle of the field will be open. And that's the first thing you read and look for, because you always have a receiver going deep down the middle. If there is a defensive back there, you read that first. If there's a safety there, you can't throw it, so you come back and drop it off to your outlets.
Preston Denard, 4 receptions for 36 yards. Ferguson, 13 of 16 for 86 yards. Marino, 16 of 23, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 20-yard line. Second down and 7. 14 seconds.
Great lift from Ferguson.
Flag is down. It is dropped by Byron Franklin. And a flag dropped to the 25.
You saw that close-up of Ferguson in his eyes. You could see the frustration in his face. He knows the Dolphins are going to be sitting deep. He knows there's not much he can do at this point. And when you drop passes and when you have more holding penalties, you're going to get reactions like this. This is the man, the catalyst, the motivator, the man who has been there before, done it for the Bills many times. Now because...
Number 85 offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Now because of injury to Jerry Butler and Hunter. Hunter is just back for this ball game. Cribbs we talked about leaving. Lewis retiring. This is a team in transition. Offensively, it's a team in transition. Ferguson is there and ready to go. He has to adjust himself to these new receivers.
Second down and 17, and the offense hinders himself as much as they've been helping themselves. Going deep, throwing it up. It'll be intercepted, and it is. Robert Sowell with the interception. He pitches it off to Paul Langford. And with that play, time runs out. We're checking to see if there are any flags. We do not see any flags. So, the first half comes to an official close. NFL 84 will be here at halftime. All the highlights and scores. Here it's Miami 24, Buffalo 20. We'll be right back after these messages.
Don Maynard and Fred Biletnikoff. Here's a look back.
Lance was, in my opinion, the greatest receiver that I've ever seen or been associated with or watched or anything else. He was a great athlete that had the skills, the great speed, and he just had the ability to make the big play every week.
Assistant Charger coach Al Davis, who will convince Arkansas wide receiver Lance Allworth to sign with the AFL's Chargers.
He could dominate the game. He could block, he could catch, he could run with the ball, but he was a great...
Allworth will catch at least one pass in 96 consecutive games, a record, and will gain better than 1,000 yards a season for 7 straight years.
The 1,000 yards probably has meant more to me because it meant I was consistent, and that even though I was hurt, I still played, then I was contributing to the team. It was a personal thing, but yet at the same time it meant something to the team.
For his achievements, Allworth will become a Hall of Famer, but his contributions to the AFL will go beyond his Hall of Fame credentials.
He was the first AFL player who had never played in another league, who was used by the media, the fan, and the college coach as the standard of excellence at his position. You would go on a college campus and you would say, how about this receiver you have with speed? Who do you compare him to? He said, well, he's not at Allworth. They weren't comparing him now to an NFL player. The guy that they all looked to as the top receiver in pro football among the deep threats was a kid in the AFL.
The New York Jets will showcase their deep threat, receiver Don Maynard. The former NFLer will set a standard for most yards gained receiving in the AFL. And with quarterback Joe Namath firing the ball Maynard's way, he will grab the most touchdown passes in AFL history.
Don was very conscientious. He had great hands, fine speed. A lot of people said that he didn't like to go over the middle. That really wasn't true. When the Raiders started their bump and go, he drove them crazy because he'd leave them. Joe could lay it out there, and he drove some of their, what they thought was great defensive backs crazy.
For the Oakland Raiders, deep threat Fred Biletnikoff will give new meaning to the phrase sure-handed receiver. Teammate Warren Wells will redefine the word elusive. And in our next next edition of the AFL Remembered, we'll have the receiver who is the all-time scoring king. Join us for more of the AFL Remembered on NFL 84.
I think I ever saw him come out and not have a team motivated.
How does he do it? What does he talk about this week?
Well, he talks about the positive things as far as the Buffalo Bills are concerned and how well they can play. They could play. He doesn't dwell on the negatives, but he brought up last year's game, how they lost in overtime, and all the people they had coming back to play against them today. So he has got a great way of motivating a team.
And your quarterback quote was encore in 84. Through the end zone. Buffalo will bring the ball out to their own 20-yard line, first and 10. And we'll look to see if Matt Kofler will be the quarterback in the second half. He was loosening up on the sideline, but no. Here comes Joe Ferguson. Let's look at the statistics of the first half. For the Dolphins, total yards, 340 to 131.
The key point is time of possession. They both had the ball about the same time. Look at the anemic numbers on the left side for the Buffalo Bills. Part of it is due because of their offense has been blowing up on itself. Penalties and fumbles. The other part, you have to give credit to the Dolphin defense.
Greg Bell. And Bell has 4 yards to the 24. It'll be second down and 6 as Charles Bowser makes the tackle. The Dolphins coming into this game have an incredible 28-1 record over the past 4 seasons in games that they led at halftime. Now that is a .965 winning percentage, tops in the NFL over that period. And included during that time, they are 14-0 at home here in the Orange Bowl when they've led at halftime. And they certainly do lead here, 24-0. Second down and 6. Ferguson drops this one off to Booker Moore. Booker back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. A.J. Dewey was there. It'll be third down and 6 following no gain. A.J. Dewey, LSU. #1 draft choice in '77.
Just got back about 2 games ago. He had off-season surgery on his knee and shoulder. He's got man-to-man coverage. He's just waiting for his man to come out. The Dolphins would like to get him more involved in their defensive scheme. He hasn't practiced a great deal the last couple of weeks. He's been more into it, but there are a lot of things defensively they can do with him in the ballgame.
And the reason that he's a linebacker, a sports writer suggested that to Don Shula. Shula says, I'm going to listen to people more after that. Third down and 6. It is complete. Byron Franklin. Franklin fumbles. Miami fumbles. Kicked it around. I thought they had it. Now there's a scramble. We'll have to see. According to Mike Kozlowski, and now the official. It's a turnover. The Dolphins have the football. I believe that Bob Baumauer caused it.
Protection was pretty good. Just a short slant pattern. Franklin's got to be, when you stop like this, you got to be aware that, no, he just lost it on his own. I thought maybe the man behind him knocked it out of his possession. He lost that ball on his own before he even turned up the field. That's just inexcusable. Your receivers, your running backs have got to hold on to the football.
And here's Joe Carter.
Joe Carter, the ball carrier.
Line of scrimmage, the 38-yard line. He rambles for a quick first down. Jim Haslett with the tackle at the 23. So a pickup of 15 on the play. And here comes the scoring machine one more time.
One of the reasons the Dolphins, as we look at Joe Ferguson talking with Perry Moss, the offensive coordinator in the booth, one of the reasons the Dolphins are running left is because Stan David is starting in the place of Lucius Sanford. David used to be a strong safety in college, not that big a linebacker.
Inside handoff to Woody Bennett. A gain of a couple to the 21. Ken Johnson and Darrell Talley make the tackle there. Second down and 8. Joe Carter, 66 yards rushing and 8 carries. Now Tony Nathan will come into that offensive set, and Joe Carter comes out. Well, Miami in the second half, they're leading 24-0. They've dominated the ballgame. Are they played a little close to the vest, or they still go wide open?
I think first series will tell you how they're going to play right here.
It is tipped, and it is intercepted. Steve Freeman with the interception. Now, that is the third time that the Bills have intercepted a Dan Marino pass. And remember, he had been intercepted only 5 times in the first half of the season.
One of the things you do when you're so successful is you get a little bit overconfident. Double coverage, he throws the ball to the inside. Freeman, who is a very smart player. When I was playing a couple of years ago, I always looked out for Steve Freeman because he was a very intelligent ball player and could make the big plays.
I thought the pass had been tipped at the line. It was just a wobbly pass, I believe. We'll be back.
I like small cars.
We need more room.
Today, Chevrolet has a car for you, the midsize celebrity.
Feel the room. Ride in style. Go in comfort every mile.
Enjoy midsize room with economy and a price that's surprisingly small. Celebrity.
Lots of stuff here. If this is today's Chevrolet, I like it.
And we need it.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
All you ghouls and goblins gather round. Time for chills and thrills, so party down. No matter who you like to bite, you're gonna want Coors and Coors Light tonight.
Coors Light's beer whoop is there. Fun is everywhere.
Get ready for excitement when Coors is on the scene.
'Cause anything can happen.
On a Coors and Coors Light Halloween.
Today's game is brought to you by Today's Chevrolet. See Today's Chevy, drive Today's Chevy, live Today's Chevy. By the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be. And by Miller High Life, the best beer for the best time of the day. Welcome to Miller Time.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy, 11:53. That is the time remaining. We are in the third quarter in the Orange Bowl. Miami leading Buffalo 24-0. And Buffalo with the interception. Third time that Marino has been intercepted in this ball game. Bills have a first down at their 9-yard line with Speedy Neal and Greg Bell in the backfield. Ferguson's pass is pulled down by Tony Hunter. Hunter at about the 14-yard line, so he'll go for 5. It'll be second down and 5. A.J. Dewey makes the tackle.
Give you an idea of what the Buffalo offense has done today and the frustration that Ferguson is feeling. 8 possessions, 3 lost fumbles, 1 lost interception. The other possessions were 3 punts and a field goal that was missed. You really can't turn the ball over if you're going to be successful offensively.
Second and 5. Inside handoff to Speedy Neal. And it will be close to the first down. Neal at 6'2", 254 pounds. Rookie taken in the 3rd round of the draft. Played his collegiate ball here at the University of Miami, a member of the national championship team. Buffalo at this point has 8 first downs, 4 by pass and 4 by run. And the measurement, add 1 more.
First down.
First down for Buffalo. The ball just shy of their 19-yard line. And we have a health report on Mark Clayton. Had that stomach problem in the first half, and he seems to be all right. We'll see if he comes back in. Tony Hunter catches it at the 25, goes close to the 29-yard line, which is what he needs for the first down. It is just short of that mark. Rudzinski with the tackle. And it may be enough. Well, the official is just going to mark it out on the field and say it'll be second down and a little less than a yard. No, then now the signal is for a first down.
Well, they haven't moved the chains
and
yet.
They haven't moved the chains, and the measurement was taken when the ball was placed at the hash marks and not when it was on the sideline. That ball is still on the sideline. And now they're going to reverse that decision, and it will be second down. Tony Hunter, 3 receptions for 22 yards. So it's second down and about a half a yard to go. And Speedy Neal will pick up the first down for Buffalo. One of the attitudes, Bob, I would guess, and then you help me on this, is that you almost in this situation have to come out and say, mentally, we're starting a new ball game. Let's see what we can win. It's 0-0. Let's see what we can do in the second half.
Well, I think that obviously has to be the idea when the Bills come out. But also, I think the frustration in the locker room of everybody knows on that team knows they're not playing well. And the only thing they can do is go out and score points and defensively shut the Dolphins out. Play well in the second half and build on that.
Greg Bell. And Bell pops it across the 40 to the 42-yard line, so he'll pick up 9. It'll be second down and 1. So they're not coming out just throwing the bombs. They're coming out, go back to the original game plan. We will run on certain downs. We will pass. We'll try and get an offense together and not make any mistakes.
They want to pass, but they also have some running plays in that offense that they feel like is good. If the Dolphins are going to rush, they got some good running plays that they feel like can pick up some yardage.
And a chance to look at some of the other scores in the NFL this afternoon. Joe Ferguson in this game has reached that magic plateau. He has become the 17th quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 27,000 yards. Speedy Neal. And he moves close to the 45-yard line. And Bob Baumauer makes the tackle. Greg Bell, by the way, 61 yards rushing in 10 carries. Neal, 3 carries for 12 yards.
Watch the 2 quarterbacks on the sideline. 10 is Matt Kofler. Number 19 is Joe Dufek.
Now they are flashing the signals in from the sideline. One is hot, one is not. In other words, one counts, one doesn't.
That's right.
Play action by Ferguson. Has some pressure, throws back, almost intercepted. Bell, the intended receiver, and William Judson came ever so close to picking that one off. It'll be second down and 10. The ball at the Buffalo 44-yard line.
Kay Stevenson just sent in Tony Hunter. Instead of giving, you notice number 10, Kofler, and 19, Dufek, both went over to listen to Kay Stevenson to get what the call was. Kay says, I'm sending it in with Hunter this time, but normally the play is wig-wagged in with one of those 2 quarterbacks.
This is the 8th play of the drive. It started back at the Buffalo 9-yard line. Speedy Neal, the remaining back. He is there to block. Neal does block, but Mike Charles picks up the sack. That is the 4th for the Dolphins. Now, Miami has not been that pleased. At least the players have stated they're not that pleased the way that their defense has been playing. They said we need our defense to play as well as our offense.
As you take a look at that graphic about the 4 sacks today, the Dolphins really haven't sacked the quarterback that much this year. Only 18 times coming into the ball game. The Bills have given up a lot of sacks on the other hand. The Bills used to, I think in 1980 and 81, they led the league in fewest amount of sacks. That has changed the last couple of years, and certainly here today, Ferguson has been on his back several times.
4 times he's lost 32 yards. Third down and 20. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line to Denard. Denard moves up to the 46, adding 3 more, picks up 12 on the play. So it'll be 4th down and 8, and that means that John Kidd will be coming into kick. 6:51 and counting. That is the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Miami out in front by a score of 24-0. Kidd kicking into the wind, and it's dying down just a little, as we can tell from the big flag high to our right. But it's still into a hefty breeze. Fair catch called for and taken at the 29-yard line by Lyle Blackwood, the up back, and that one was good for only 27 yards. Wind does make a difference. Remember, he had a 61-yarder with the wind in the first half. We've got a timeout. Miami leads it 24-0.
This is today's Chevrolet, and this is today's Chevrolet. This Chevrolet is specially modified for the International Race of Champions. This is a new Camaro IROC Z28 built for you. Chevrolet encourages the use of selected parts and components by race teams, and that helped us build this Chevrolet. World champions drive this Camaro, but the Camaro IROC Z28 makes you feel like a champion.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy. Chevy.
Some people think the IBM PC Junior runs only about this much software. The truth is, PC Junior runs over 1,000 of the best, most up-to-date programs, including powerful new cartridge programs like Lotus 123. And with PC Junior's new memory expansion attachment, it can run well over 1,000 more programs. PC Junior from IBM, the computer that's growing by leaps and bounds.
Blue Eyes is back in town. These are the eyes of a quarterback, and we've been talking about the effect of the eyes, not only of the quarterback, but also the defensive players. How does that work, Bob?
Well, a lot of times the quarterback will always look at his center, come back with his eyes on his center before he takes the ball. It can be a help to the defense. Also, as a quarterback looking at a defensive man, you can look at their eyes, and if the quarterback sees that the defensive man is looking at a running back, perhaps you know that he's going to have man-to-man coverage.
Miami from their own 30-yard line. Joe Carter, the ball carriers. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
You're watching WESH-TV, Channel 2, Daytona Beach, Orlando, Florida.
Miami picking up a first down. This is Charlie Jones and Bob Greasy with 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter here in the Orange Bowl. And Miami leading Buffalo by a score of 24-0. And Joe Carter now has 9 carries for 76 yards. What a nice addition he has been. First down. Mark Duper tackled Charles Rome. 47-yard line of Buffalo. 13 yards on the play.
So Haslett, 55, getting up off of Marino to the right of your screen. Jim Haslett, a linebacker. Marino with pretty good protection most of the day, had a man in his face. Duper hasn't really caught that many passes today. They've done a good job on him. It's Clayton that's been the real thorn in the side of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, this is something that you have a problem with. When you have a Duper and a Clayton, you can only double one and the other is single, or if you double both, then you've got backs and tight ends over the middle that are open. Now, that's a scrambling into that play. And as we sort it out, let's go to New York City.
All right, Charlie, out in Los Angeles, Marcus Allen has scored his second touchdown of the day. Great second effort, a 1-yard run to give the Raiders a 19-6 lead over Denver. Marcus leads the NFL now with 12 touchdowns. Back to Charlie and Bob.
And back here in the Orange Bowl, thanks for the update, third quarter. Just inside of 4:47 and counting, Bob.
Another sack for Marino there. I mean, of Marino. That was a little out and up pattern. They were trying to get deep on Carpenter, the cornerback. No way. He took the sack.
I mean, just a quick count. 10, 20, 30, 40. There's about 60 yards in the air with a flick of the wrist.
Well, he's downwind. And he's young, strong, big, you know, good looking.
And he rides in the front of the plane. What else is left?
Getting back to what you were saying a little earlier, do you double cover Duper or Clayton? You can double cover both of them. Do you do that and not rush, or do you try and rush the passer, trying to give him very little time and play man-to-man coverage in the secondary? The Bills have done both today, and they have really lost doing both methods.
Marino has completed 17 of 25. He's thrown for 262 yards. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, this completion, 41-yard line Buffalo territory. It'll be about 3 yards short of the first down. Going to Nat Moore, and Rodney Bellinger makes the tackle. And here comes Reggie Roby. This is the second appearance by Roby.
Take a look at Charles Rome's jamming. It's a great jam right there. Looked like Duper kind of pulled him to try and help get away from him. those are the battles that go on the line of scrimmage. That's why Don Shula has gone to a lot of small, quick receivers to try and avoid that jam at the line of scrimmage and get downfield.
The Miami offense has been so effective, they've almost taken the punt out of the game. Try to float this one down so that Robert Sowell could come under and down the ball. And he floated it a couple of yards too far. 41 yards. We've got a timeout. Miami 24, Buffalo nothing. We'll be back.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't have pinstripes and rock and roll? Who says you can't taste life without it taking its toll? Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can.
Michelob Light. Super premium taste in a less filling beer.
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
The Mercedes-Benz 190 class for 1985. So masterfully engineered that it can perform with the world's finest sports sedans. And that makes it exciting. Yet so conscientiously engineered that its feeling of sheer driving security is unique. And that makes it a Mercedes-Benz. The 190 class. Mercedes-Benz. Engineered like no other car in the world.
On November to remember, Miami.
The Dolphins' offensive line has provided Secret Service protection for the arm of Dan Marino.
On November to remember, New York.
The Jets' Mark Gastineau has Marino at the top of his most wanted list.
Miami battles the Jets. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
Next Sunday in that doubleheader, most of you will see the Raiders in Chicago as the first half of the doubleheader, and then Miami Dolphins, still the only undefeated team in the NFL against the New York Jets, is the second half. Your team plays here next Sunday on NBC Sports. Incomplete. Going to Byron Franklin. It'll be second down and 10. Buffalo's ball at their own 20-yard line with 3.5 minutes. And those are sad eyes. You talked about the eyes.
Marino's eyes are wide open, searching for young receivers with a good offensive line that are really on a roll. Ferguson's eyes are frustrated from having gone through what he's gone through today, and also from an 0-8 season.
Second and 10. Drop. Byron Franklin. The only good news I can think for Joe right now, it's another drop as you'll take another look at it, is he's running out of bad things. I mean, pretty soon good things have to happen.
Well, sometimes when you're a team like this and you've lost 8 games this year without a win and you get behind 24-0, you're not really giving it your best effort. You're coming out going through the motions and say, okay, we're going to get beat. You know, who cares? Now, there are a few people out there that do care, and Ferguson is one of them, and the ones that don't care are the ones next week that won't be out there playing.
Ferguson 17 of 24, 111 yards and an interception. Third down and 10. He has the pressure and he rolls out of it. And it's incomplete. It'll be fourth down. Byron Franklin, the intended receiver. And that means that John Kidd will be kicking into the wind one more time. That means also good field position. Bob?
Right here is Baumar. He's going to make a big loop around the other 2 defensive linemen, and Baumar will be the cause of Ferguson running out of the pocket. He makes a big sweep. What this does is confuse the blocking of the offensive line. Gets penetration into the pocket.
Defensive gains. Ooh, good kick. Into the wind. Walker takes it at the 30-yard line. Fulton's to the 35, the 40. The kicker gets him. John Kidd saves the touchdown. A 50-yard kick into the wind and a 35-yard return by Fulton Walker.
Right up the middle. The Dolphins have been doing a fairly good job of returning. The Bills are not that good on coverage. He just seems to go right at him. The last guy, this is the 4th string quarterback right here. Kidd makes the tackle.
And he is the first-string kicker.
First-string kicker.
We'll be back.
Sometimes when you're a team like this and you've lost 8 games this year without a win and you get behind 24-0, you're not really giving it your best effort. You're coming out going through the motions and say, okay, we're going to get beat. You know, who cares? Now, there are a few people out there that do care, and Ferguson is one of them, and the ones that don't care are the ones next week that won't be out there playing.
Ferguson 17 of 24, 111 yards and an interception. 3rd down and 10. He has the pressure and he rolls out of it. And it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Byron Franklin, the intended receiver. And that means that John Kidd will be kicking into the wind one more time. That means also good field position. Bob?
Right here is Baumar. He's going to make a big loop around the other 2 defensive linemen, and Baumar will be the cause of Ferguson running out of the pocket. He makes a big sweep. What this does is confuse the blocking of the offensive line. Gets penetration into the pocket.
Defensive gains. Ooh, good kick. Into the wind. Walker takes it at the 30-yard line. Fulton's to the 35, the 40. The kicker gets him. John Kidd saves the touchdown. A 50-yard kick into the wind and a 35-yard return by Fulton Walker.
Right up the middle. The Dolphins have been doing a fairly good job of returning. The Bills are not that good on coverage. He just seems to go right at him. The last guy, this is the 4th-string quarterback right here. Kidd makes the tackle.
And he is the first-string kicker.
First-string kicker.
We'll be back.
One reason why Duracell batteries last so long is because we're always improving them. In fact, today's Duracell batteries will last up to 20% longer than the ones we made just 3 years ago. To do it any other way would be, well, the tail wagging the dog. Duracell, the copper top battery. When it comes to making them last longer, we never stop.
Today's cars do things yesterday's cars didn't.
Please fasten seatbelt.
Their smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oiled viscosity within 1,500 miles. The tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So listen to your car.
Exceeding recommended RPM.
It may be telling you something. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven, can Michael Landon turn a disabled athlete into a champion?
What do you care?
With the help of Olympic star Bart Connor, will a miracle come true? Wednesday.
Miami 24, Buffalo nothing. Reno is thrown for 3 touchdowns. The ball at the Buffalo 36-yard line. Joe Carter.
Joe Carter is the ball carrier.
Carter has 4 yards to the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Eugene Marv and Darryl Talley make the tackle.
On the tackle, number 56, Darryl Talley. Gain of 4 yards.
Jensen, number 11, is a 3rd-string quarterback, but he gets a lot of playing time as a wide receiver. Comes back in motion. The Dolphins have a play where he comes inside and cracks back on 54 Marv. This wasn't the play, but by coming back in motion, he intimidates those linebackers just a little bit, something to give those linebackers to think about.
Pete Johnson, 30-yard line. He has a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 4 as Sean McNanny and Fred Smerlis make the tackle. First carry in the ballgame for Pete Johnson. As you know, the Pete Johnson story with Cincinnati had the great season, and that, of course, was a Super Bowl year, 1981, where he rushed for more than 1,000 yards and caught 46 passes for 320 yards.
And now with the score being what it is, Shula is trying to get some of his second-line players, Johnson in particular, into the ball game to get some experience with the Dolphin system.
Joe Carter is 80 yards rushing and 10 carries. Marino from the shotgun. It is complete to Duper. Slips the tackle, has the first down, goes to the 20-yard line, has 10 yards. 21st first down for Miami. Eugene Marv with the tackle.
your screen, you'll see him coming out right here. Going to come down and go across. He has such quick feet. You see there's nobody in the middle of the field. Catches the ball. Now watch him break the tackle. Most receivers would go down here. Quick feet, breaks the tackle, adds on to the yardage.
We have an injury timeout with 1:19 left to go in the third. Miami leads. We'll be back.
They say it takes a big computer company to build a big computer. Sure.
Who else?
But Goodyear said, "Want to bet?" and built a supercomputer for NASA.
Goodyear did? Yeah, the aerospace group.
Goodyear's computer can add or subtract 6.5 billion times a second.
What?
It's one of the world's fastest computers. See what you can do when you don't listen to what they say. Goodyear.
It ain't easy to do rope tricks first time around. Same goes for smokeless tobacco. But here's one that's easier to use. Skoal Long Cut. Now, it's not chewing tobacco. Long cut means that it packs easy. Stays put between your cheek and gum. So Skoal Long Cut makes it easy to enjoy tobacco without lighting up. Plus, it's got the great taste that can only come from Skoal. Easy to use, great taste. Try Skoal Long Cut. It's a lot easier than this.
En 1983, Edwin Rosario de Puerto Rico se enfrentó a José Luis Ramírez de México por el Campeonato Mundial de los Ligueros. Rosario ganó la pelea por apretada decisión. Ahora estos dos grandes boxeadores se encuentran de nuevo. Una revancha por el campeonato en vivo desde San Juan en NBC Sports World.
Muchas gracias, Rosero Ramirez, Puerto Rico.
Say how blues dead?
No, that's it. Great fight, though. Live, NBC. Remember. It's a November to remember. I like that because it is. Well, we had a lot of great events coming up. And the fight being one of them. Miami at the Buffalo 20. Joe Carter just running free. Steve Freeman with the tackle. Woody Bennett with the block. Carter now 11 carries and 90 yards.
Roy Foster also had a great block. Running left again, it's Sean David, the rookie 7th-round draft choice from Texas Tech. We mentioned a little earlier he was a strong safety in college, was a great athlete, was a high hurdler, I think, the state champ in New Mexico. Having some problems because of his weight. Needs to put on a bit more weight to play the linebacker position.
First down, goal to go, 10-yard line. Carter fell down. Here comes Marino. And he slides to the 4. Now, question, why is Marino still in the ballgame? Why haven't they gone to Don Strock or Crash Jensen?
It's the end of the third quarter, 24-0. Marino has only played for 1 year, and I think Shula would like to get him as many snaps as possible. I don't think it'll be too much longer into the fourth quarter that you'll see either Strock or Jim Jensen at quarterback.
That's the end of the third. Miami 24, Buffalo nothing. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight on Knight Rider. A Halloween murderer's tricks are no treat for Michael. And what's the secret of the haunted house?
You don't want to know.
A special Knight Rider tonight. An NBC movie premiere. Heather Locklear faces a madman who would kill thousands to possess her. Simon & Simon's Gerald McRaney must protect her from the city killer tonight.
This is the moment when you need the quick response and smooth acceleration that comes from Exxon unleaded regular gasoline. It has all the octane most cars need to help free your engine from knocking and pinging. And for even more octane, try Exxon Extra Unleaded. When the moment demands performance, get Exxon. Quality you can count on.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. It's a new morning, it's a good time for a fresh new taste, McDonald's kind. It's a great new breakfast made just for you on fresh buttermilk biscuits. Hey, count them, there's two. A sausage biscuit, take a big bite. A fresh baked biscuit, tender and light. Or bacon, egg, and cheese hearty breakfast fare. Both new at McDonald's, so we'll see you there for new breakfast biscuits. 'Cause it's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Don't miss Morgan Fairchild, Monday at 7:30 on Entertainment Tonight.
Today's game is brought to you by the Chrysler Corporation, featuring the all-new 1985 Colts, imported for Dodge and Plymouth and built by Mitsubishi in Japan. By Skoal Long-Cut Smokeless Tobacco, easy to use with the great taste that could only come from Skoal. And by GTE, advancing technology in telecommunications and electrical products.
We start the fourth quarter. The ball on the Buffalo 3-yard line. Second down, goal to go Miami. They lead 24-0. Woody Bennett and Pete Johnson are the two running backs. Pete Johnson. He will take a pile with him for about 3 yards. Eugene Marv was there. Donald Wilson was there. Stan David was there. Well, that's a load to carry.
You know, you said earlier Pete Johnson came to the Dolphins weighing 270, Charlie. Don Shula said earlier this week that he's down to 253. And made a mention to the fact that when a couple years ago when Shula was in the Pro Bowl and Shula was coaching, Pete Johnson was playing, he was at 250, and he keeps reminding Pete of how good he played then.
Woody Bennett. Touchdown, Miami. Pete Johnson leading in, Bennett over the top.
This is really an elephant backfield with Pete Johnson ahead of Woody Bennett. Woody Bennett, normally a fullback, great spring in his legs, goes the tailback behind Pete Johnson's block.
Woody's first touchdown today, his fourth on the year. Uvavan Shaman with a point after it is good. That makes the score Miami 31 and Buffalo nothing. 14-19, time remaining here in the Orange Bowl.
Chrysler introduces the new technology of driving. Turbo New Yorker. Front-wheel drive, electronics to inform you. Chrysler luxury to comfort you, and turbo power to move you. Turbo New Yorker. Once you drive it, you'll never go back to a V8 again. This is Chrysler's most technologically advanced luxury car, backed by the Chrysler Protection Plan. Turbo New Yorker by Chrysler. The best built, best backed American car.
Miami now leading 31-0. They'll be 9-0, and the comparison has already started between this team and 1972, your team that was undefeated.
Well, there have been a lot of comparisons, a lot of talk this week around Miami about that, and they even compared it player by player and who was better and who would you choose. You know, and if I had to pick right here, I'd have to take Morris over Nathan and also Zonka. Warfield was great. Twilly, I liked him because he was my good friend, but I'd have to take Duper over him. And Marv Fleming, how could you get a better tight end than Marv Fleming?
And we'll be checking out the rest of that offense as Bob gives us his comparison. Uvavan Shaman kicking off. Donald Wilson on the return. To the 18-yard line. Jackie Shipp with the tackle. Let's go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, at the Coliseum in L.A., Denver has pulled to within 19-12. Here's quarterback Gary Kubiak scrambling. Then Clarence Kay is suddenly wide open. Hits him with a 4-yard touchdown pass, but a bad snap on the extra point leaves them 7 behind instead of 6. Could be important.
And the plot thickens, leading to a showdown here December the 4th. The Raiders and the Dolphins. Orange Bowl on NBC. That'll be the second half of the doubleheader. Let's say about 3-4 weeks away. Maybe 5, but I mean, it's waiting. Ferguson's pass overthrown. Byron Franklin slipped down. Ferguson was decked right after he made... I've got a lot of admiration for Ferguson. You're right in you know what you said about him. He will just get up and fight you and fight you and fight you.
He's had a tough year, and he's you know, it's tough when you're 0-8. he's had a problem the last few weeks with a bad ankle. He's had a forearm problem. He's out there playing. His team is 31-0 behind. There's no way he's going to win this ball game. I don't know how much longer Kay will leave him in the ball game.
Ferguson back. Pass is complete to Rob Riddick. Riddick's fighting for an extra yard or two. It's a first down. Now, let's go back and talk about the comparison of the Dolphins of 1984 and the Dolphins of 72.
Well, here you see the offensive line, and with the center, I'd have to say Langer and Stevenson were pretty much even. Wayne Moore, I'd give the edge to John Giesler. Kuchenberg, I don't think there was anybody any better than that. This is a close one, but I'd have to give it to Larry Little and Norm Evans, the edge over Cleveland Green.
And we have one more, and we'll be back with that, so stay with us. Buffalo at their own 33-yard line, first down. Dolphins with a lot of defensive changes. We'll be talking about that. Tony Hunter on the receiving end. He goes to the 38, gain of 5, second and 5. A.J. Dewey with the tackle. And one more comparison. Bob Greasy, 6'1".
Was there ever any doubt?
190 pounds. Purdue. Dan Marino, taller, heavier, stronger, younger. And I, of course, would go with Bob Greasy on the comparison myself. Straka loosening up.
And he's going in the next series.
That's nice. It's a good comparison to look back that way. Second down and 5. Ferguson is sacked. 5 sacks for the Dolphin defense. Charles Benson got this one. Benson, Barnett into that defense. Mike Brown also in.
One of the problems Ferguson is having is because of his ankle problems. He doesn't move that well. He didn't have bad protection that time. He kind of ran out of the pocket, as we see Benson getting his first NFL sack. But I think we're about to see a change of quarterback for both teams. I think if the game is such that Straka is going to be going in and Kofor will be going in for the Bills, at least I don't think the Bills have anything to gain by leaving Ferguson in the ballgame.
And I admire Joe Ferguson. I say, he's been written off more times in a business lunch, but he'll come back and fight you and fight you and fight you. Preston Denard. He put on 3 fakes. The defense didn't take a single fake. 4th down, John Kidd will be kicking to Fulton Walker. And Walker, remember that very exciting return man?
What'd you say about a business lunch?
You heard. You like that.
I like that.
I try and save something for you. A little surprise in the 4th quarter.
I like that.
John Kidd. With the win. Not that good a kick. 20-yard line. Walker to the 30. And let the record show that John Kidd was poised at the 45 to stop him in case he broke through. But Rod Cush got him. 11-10 left to go. Miami leads at 31-0.
So hold up. Go. Lighten the load. Lighten the load. Throw down the trunk. They're catching up. Get rid of the Strohs. Get rid of the Strohs.
Good thinking, Bart.
Yep.
Strohs and Stroh Light. Fire brewed for smoother taste. For 1985, Plymouth engineers a new 550 Reliant K, the Reliant Super K. Magic. The best 6-passenger car value. Backed with 550 protection. Aerodynamically redesigned to be more efficient. We made the best better. 550 Reliant. The Super K. Match it if you can. Plymouth. Best built, best backed American cars.
America's favorite pastime is
two good quarterbacks.
Well,
Marino on the right.
I think it can be a luxury in certain situations, and I think it can be a liability in others, Charlie. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Dolphins from their own 32-yard line, first down. And here Strock will be rather conservative. They're just going to work a little on the clock. Woody Bennett, and let's look at the numbers of Dan Marino. Now, as you look at the numbers, he came into this game. They have a rating. It's very complicated. He is rated at 120.9. The all-time record is 110.4. So the record busters continue. That's just one of about 8 or 9 records that the Dolphin offense can achieve this year.
Ghostbusters is one of his favorite tapes he likes to listen to on the bus going to the stadium. David Shula, one of the youngest coaches on the Dolphin staff, would like to listen to some of that too. I'll get back there in a minute.
This one is dropped off to Joe Carter. Carter up to the 38-yard line. Ben Williams with the tackle.
Let me finish my story about David Shula.
Yep.
David Shula is the youngest coach in the National Football League, the son of Don. He works with the receivers, but he is more the player's age than he is the coach's age as we look at his dad on the sideline. But Marino and a lot of the players have these little earphones that they get on the bus going to the ball games, and Marino was playing Ghostbusters one time. David sat next to him and kind of liked it and was enjoying it until his father got on the bus and gave him a look. He remembered he was a coach and not a player.
Oh, that's a good boy. I like that. And when Don Shula gives you a look, it is a look. Third down and 4. Inside handoff to Nathan out of the shotgun, first down. Now, what are the reasons for that play? Miami playing the Jets next week. It's just one more thing the defense has to prepare for. Eugene Meyer makes a tackle. A quick 16.
It's a good point, Charlie. A lot of this stuff, they're not going to use any of their good stuff anymore. A lot of this is camouflage just to show when you line up in shotgun, we can run the football and run it wide. So be sure the defense plays you honest. This is just a little window dressing for next week.
We're moving on the 9-minute mark. Time remaining. Here's Miami 31, Buffalo nothing.
Thank you for being in the Orange Bowl tonight.
And Miami will be 9-0. Buffalo will be 0-9. And Buffalo will be hosting Cleveland next week. Bruce Hardy, first down.
Pass complete to Bruce Hardy.
Carpenter with a stop.
Getting back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, Charlie, about the luxury or liability with two quarterbacks, the system that Don Shula has had. I think if there is no competition between the two quarterbacks, as is the case with Strock being the veteran backup and Marino being the starter, it can be very good for you, be very healthy. The same situation was there when I played and Earl Morrow was the veteran backup. Don Shula had the luxury of having a veteran and a starter, and there was no competition for the position.
And it becomes an acceptance of a role by the backup quarterback, by the veteran who has been there, who has had his day in the sun, and knows that it can lengthen his career.
Now, where it can be a liability, I think, is when the two are competing, especially a veteran or a young quarterback.
Timeout.
Yes.
And it's always a liability with the Los Angeles Rams. Now go ahead, because it always is.
Well, when you have situations in St. Louis, for instance, Neil Lomax and Jim Hart. Once they traded Jim Hart, Neil Lomax felt like the weight of the earth had been taken off his back. No second guessing. Same way in Denver this year with John Elway and DeBerg, Gary Hogaboom and Danny White. A lot of competition. Yeah. What it does is divides the teams in a lot of situations. They say, I'd rather go with this quarterback or that quarterback, so it can be a liability at times, having two good quarterbacks.
Strock now 3 of 3 as he goes to Jimmy Cephalo. So even though Miami is working the clock, they're keeping the ball on the ground, he's going with the safe passes. In addition, is not Strock preparing himself in case Marino does go down? Because it seems as when you think of Don Strock, you think back over the years, and he has come in and had some great ball games.
Oh, he has, and he is getting a little bit of rustiness off of his game. Now, Don Shula calls the plays for Dan Marino. Strock is calling his own, and as I sit up here and watch, I haven't seen Strock play for maybe 10, 12 games. I'm seeing the same plays that he likes to call back out here on the field tonight.
23-yard line, first down. And when you're hot, you're hot. Everything seems to work as Pete Johnson rambles through.
One of the comparisons that they've made this week with the undefeated team of 72 and this team is some of the injuries that happened. I already mentioned Earl Morrow stepped in and played at quarterback a great deal while I was injured. But that's the way, and that happened a lot that year, and it's happening again this year with McNeil being out, with Eric Laxell being out, with Bob Kuchenberg being out. The players behind him are stepping up and stepping in and doing a good job, and it's because the way Don Shula prepares everybody on the ball club to step in and play.
Pete Johnson, he gets up a full head of steam. You don't want to get in his way. Chris Keating did, and he brought him down. Pete Johnson from ground level. He's a thundering herd just by himself.
The ground may be shaking down there. You can say that sitting up here. If you had a red helmet on, you wouldn't be laughing.
No, I would change to the white helmet. Pete Johnson, 13 yards in 4 carries. And he needs to work. They're in a position here. A little over 5 minutes to go. So they're getting some work.
Shula runs his practice. If you're the second or even the third string anything and you make a mistake, you hear about it. He doesn't want anybody making a mistake. He wants everybody preparing as if they're going to play the ball game.
Third down and 1. That is Miami's 26th first down, and Pete Johnson gets it. Ben Williams, Donald Wilson with the tackle.
From the end zone, a little cross block. Dwight Stevenson and Roy Foster, 2 good blocks up front, allow a little crease in there for Johnson to get his sleek. I think if he's 253 down from 270,
he's sleeking now.
Sleek.
He become a slashing style runner. Not yet. But it wouldn't surprise me if he isn't by the end of the year. 9-yard line, first down goal to go. Nice little touch pass. John Chesley, rookie out of Oklahoma State, incomplete. Be second down goal to go. Darrell Talley had the coverage. We mentioned a moment ago Miami's 26th first down. Buffalo has a total of 12. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. That is the time remaining here in the Orange Bowl. The ball at the 9-yard line. Ronnie Lee is in that offensive line. Jeff Taves is also in. Strock has completed 3 of 4 for 26. Will he throw here? I was just watching. That is awesome. Taking the pitch and a full head of steam.
What is happening here? Andre Franklin, the normal starting quarterback for the Dolphins, is injured. He picked up Pete Johnson for one reason, and that is to give Woody Bennett some support. Now, Johnson has been learning the Dolphin system for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Now he's getting in. He's gaining confidence in that system. This is only going to make the Dolphins stronger. The Dolphins are getting stronger by this last quarter. The Bills haven't done anything to increase their chances of winning next week.
Johnson, 6 carries, 26 yards. Here it is, and he has a touchdown. That is his 8th of the year, his 5th as a Dolphin.
Just a straight handoff, one-on-one. Dan David, 59, is not large enough at 215 to tackle Johnson at over 250 pounds.
And from a Miami standpoint, one reason that it is important for Johnson to score here today in a game that they've already won, they now lead 37-0, is that there will come a time between now and the end of the season when he will need to pick up that yard for the score, or that yard for the key first down.
The same thing we said earlier about Carter. Shula not using Carter to a favorable situation. Same thing with Pete Johnson here today.
We'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new 1985 Colts from Japan. Colts represent automotive quality.
Konnichiwa. Sayonara.
Like the economical Colt 3-door, the stylish new 4-door sedan, the exciting turbo, the versatile Colt Vista.
The new 1985 Colts. Imported for Dodge and Plymouth. Built by Mitsubishi in Japan. Colt. It's all the Japanese you need to know.
AT&T is in boots. How? Our people can show a Texas bootmaker how to expand his business outside of Texas.
I wish I'd gotten those boots.
I knew you wanted them.
By using an AT&T 800 service number,
I should have gotten them.
His customers can call toll-free from anywhere in the country.
He said it's the toll-free call.
I want those boots.
I'll send them right out. Oh, and thanks for
People of
calling.
AT&T Communications, we're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of.
The richest day in thoroughbred racing, $10 million. 7 races that will forever change the sport of kings. The Breeders' Cup, November 10th on NBC.
The Breeders' Cup, a part of the November to Remember here on NBC Sports. November the 10th, Hollywood Park. Be there. Uwe von Schaman kicking off. Van Williams on the return. He returns near the 25-yard line. And let's see now if Buffalo does make a change at quarterback. John Chesley made the tackle. And yes, number 10, Matt Kofler, in his 3rd year, number 2 choice in 1982 from San Diego State. He played the end of the first half and all of the second half of the game against Denver, and we'll be back to see what Matt Kofler can do here in the Orange Bowl as Miami leads 38-0.
All truck companies talk tough, but only one puts its money where its mouth is. Dodge. Because only Dodge gives you a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on engine, powertrain, and outer body rust-through. It covers new 85 full-size pickups, wagons, vans, and Ram Chargers, making Dodge the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Now, there are solar-powered telephone calls. Why? Well, in many of the world's more remote areas, it's highly impractical, if not impossible, to run telephone lines. And since our solar repeaters, which relay the calls via radio wave, get their power from the sun, no lines are needed. Gee. No. GTE.
Joe Ferguson's best day as a pro was in this game here in the Orange Bowl a year ago. He threw for 419 yards and 5 touchdowns. Wanted to match it today, and he couldn't, but it wasn't all his fault. Here's Kofler. This pass is complete. And he goes to Byron Franklin. Gain of 5 to the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 5. A hurry-up offense. Mark Brown with the tackle. That's 2 in a row. He caught it past the markers, but made a move. That'll cost him a yard. And they'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 1.
4 yards, 3rd and 1.
Here's Mitchell Brookins.
Mitchell Brookins. Knocked out of bounds. 1st down, Buffalo.
You know, we talk about a zone a lot of times. A zone is nothing more. These 2 linebackers right here will drop back into an area and just cover a zone or an area. This other receiver, linebackers, will do the same thing. The defensive backs, watch them. They're just covering an area. If somebody comes into their area, they'll cover them. But if they don't, they're just covering anybody that comes through that area, as opposed to man-to-man where you lock up and run with them anywhere they go.
Gain of 14 to the 47, 1st down. And it is dropped by Byron Franklin. And of course, when we talk about underneath coverage, as you saw, as you illustrated, those zones are dropping back and underneath. When they're throwing underneath, they're throwing before you get to the zone.
He's exactly right. Underneath means the linebackers are dropping maybe 12, 15 yards deep, and you can't get behind them, so you go underneath them, maybe 7, 8, 10 yards, and you throw the ball. Now, what you try to do is have one man underneath and one man behind him, and then you can read the linebacker, and if he comes up, throw it over his head.
So you force 2 men in a zone.
That's right.
A little deep. And incomplete. Mitchell Brookins, the intended receiver. Now, he and Kofler teamed up against Denver for a 70-yard touchdown pass. And that same pattern, just an up or a streak just down the sideline.
Charlie, the Dolphins have been controlling the ball very well lately. The last few games. Last week, for instance, the New England Patriots, they had 4 drives of 10 plays or more, 80 yards, 74 yards, 80 yards, and 69 yards. Today, they had 4 drives, 80 yards, 67, 75, and 68. Along with their big strike capabilities, they can also march it down with a lot of plays.
3rd down and 10. Matt Kofler has A.J. Dewey coming at him. He gets it off to Rob Riddick.
Pass complete to number 40, Riddick. Knocked out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Clock it now the 2:09 mark. It'll be 4th down. And one of the reasons that we mentioned the long drives and the number of plays and the yardage, because one of the defensive axioms is make them move in, over a long period of time and use a lot of plays because they will make a mistake.
Exactly.
That's part of the defensive philosophy of every team.
That is a good defensive philosophy, especially if you're ahead 38-0.
Yes, it does help.
What we're talking about, the back coming underneath, taking a release and coming underneath these linebackers right here. Then you like to get another wide receiver behind him here. So the quarterback will read these 2 linebackers. If they come up on the short man, he'll throw it over their head to the deeper man. If they drop too deep, then they'll throw it to the shorter man in the coverage. Back circling out of the backfield, they let him catch it. 38-0. They just want to say, catch it, and we'll go and tackle you.
And when you hear the terminology going up top, that means, of course, as we saw just a moment ago with Mitchell Brookins going deep and trying to get behind the zone so that the ball has to pass over the top of the zone.
Exactly. Throwing it deep down the field, one-on-one with the defensive back.
Buffalo has won only 1 game here in the Orange Bowl since 1967, and that was a year ago. But this year, it's a different story.
The discouraged face of Joe Ferguson. He's been there before.
4th down and 5. Why not? Go for it. First down. And then out of bounds. Preston Denard stops the clock. 2:02 left to go. The ball at the Miami 33-yard line, first down. Now, something else comes in play at this point. From the Dolphins' defensive standpoint, they want a shutout. They've got one working. They don't want to give up the score.
That's exactly right. They're too proud to give up any points. Like I said earlier, they're the second defensive team in the league as far as least points are concerned. They want to hold the Bills out of the end zone.
33-yard line, first down. He's open and he's overthrown. Brookins got behind, but the pass was too long. 2 minutes left to go. We're not going to have one here, but there have been a lot in the NFL. So here we go on tape and film. A fantastic finish.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1979, Metropolitan Stadium, Bloomington, Minnesota. In overtime, Tommy Kramer unloads the ball. Ahmad Rashad makes a spectacular leaping catch and steals the pass away from Green Bay. He turns on the speed, straight arms, and gallops his way to a 27-21 victory over the Packers on the game's final play.
Now that's an instant replay.
Hey, Ralph, you switched us from bottles to cans.
Right. They chill fast and they taste great. Plus, they're recyclable. I like that. We can't keep throwing good stuff away forever.
You got it, Quincy. I saved my used cans for a little neighborhood girl who recycles them for cash. Who could that be?
Why, hello there, little neighborhood girl.
Recycle. Buy beverages in aluminum cans and recycle.
The Great Pumpkin arrives this week. And speaking of that, tonight, it's Ricky's night to howl on a spooky silver spoon. And his parents' night is Punky School, but will she find a suitable guardian? Find out tonight on Punky Brewster. Michael and Kit try to unravel a mysterious murder on Knight Rider. And then a beautiful woman is pursued by a man who will do anything to possess her, even destroy an entire city. It's the City Killer, a world premiere movie, tonight on NBC. And he has it. And he is down just shy of the 5-yard line. Rob Riddick on the receiving end, a gain of 28 yards. They'll mark at the 5. It'll be first down, goal to go. Here's another look.
A lot of people think, excuse me, that Rob Riddick caught that ball, that Kofor should be in the ball game a lot earlier, but it's a lot easier to play at this stage of the game than it has been most of the entire ball game.
And the chant goes up for the defense, and it is caught on a deflection for a score if the play stands up. Flag drop.
Incomplete. Incomplete, Charlie. The ball was knocked loose. I think the flag is going to be on Langford, 44, because it was thrown from the back judge at the middle of the end zone.
Where defensive holding, number 44, penalty refused, touchdown.
See, it was a deflection. I told you. Stay alert.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
As we take another look. I was looking at the hit right here, and I didn't see the back of the end zone. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And Preston Denard. 8 receptions, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
There. Preston Denard was talking to his son a while back, who goes to nursery school with Joe Ferguson. Daughter. Denard's son is named Evan, and they were getting into a little spat. He was getting into a little spat with Kristen Ferguson, and Denard went home and told his son, he says, I don't think you better do that. Daddy has to catch some footballs from Kristen's father, so you be nice to her at nursery school.
That's great. So the Bills are on the scoreboard as they put together a 75-yard drive. It's 38-6. In the minute 22, go for 7 of 9, 74 yards and a touchdown. Danello hits the extra point. And let's go back to that collision.
.43 Bud Brown. It's a good lick. The ball was deflected into the back of the end zone, but Brown trying to get a piece of the receiver.
Well, and we might see an onside kick coming up now. You don't think that it's not tough in the booth. Can we get a shot of our statistician, Ross Schneiderman? Now, here's a man that comes prepared. Right there. Don't you love that? It is tough. It's always tough in the booth. Great job, Ross. It's a rough business. Barry Von Sukel and Bo Bacomas working with us here today. We greatly appreciate it. It's giving the old head slap, Ross.
Ross, have you ever had one of those on before? He says yes. He put it on backwards the first time he put it on.
1 minute, 22 seconds. That is the time remaining. 38-7. Miami will hold the perfect record, and the dream will continue. Tonight, Silver Spoons, Punky Brewster, Knight Rider, and City Killer, the world premiere movie. And here is the onside kick. My guess is coming to the right. And it's covered immediately.
The problem was there was a little offsides. Danello didn't kick the ball soon enough.
Robert Sowell covered it.
But there certainly wasn't any guesswork in that. Obviously, the Dolphins will not have him kick it again.
Kicking team, offside, penalty refused. Miami ball, first down.
So Miami has the ball at the 48-yard line of Buffalo. First down, 122. The Bills have 2 timeouts remaining. Miami has 3. I think that's an academic statistic. That touchdown drive is 75 yards. In 10 plays, consumed 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and it was a 5-yard touchdown pass from Matt Kofor. That is his 2nd touchdown pass of the season to Preston Denard, his 5th touchdown reception. He'll have a couple of yards to the 46. It'll be second down and 8. Chris Keating will make the tackle.
One of the problems the Bills have had, obviously, is with their quarterback position. Kofor has played well, but the man who has really played well for him is Dufek. Dufek has been out with an injury, and is a young man from Yale that is very intelligent, picks up the offense very well. In the hat to the right of Ferguson, number 19 is Dufek. But they felt he was really coming on well. And the thing that Dufek and Kofor give the offense is mobility. Ferguson with his bad ankle, not much mobility. The two younger quarterbacks can move him around a little bit.
Pete Johnson, and that could well do it, as he'll just bound off of Bills, and he'll be brought down. Now, Miami's record is 9-0. Can they go undefeated?
They've got some tough games coming. Next week's game at the Jets is going to be very tough. The Raiders have always given them problems. In fact, the Raiders have dominated the Raiders like no other team in the league, and they're going to San Diego.
Right. Can they do it?
I'd say the
yes or no
is against them. I don't know, Charlie. I didn't think we could do it in 1972.
We'll see, though. Had to put you on the spot. I have a feeling. I think the magic is there. I think that they can do it.
Well,
it's going to be interesting. We'll be following them on NBC.
They obviously have to keep Marino healthy to be able to do it. If Marino is injured during the season, I don't think they have much of a chance at all. He is their catalyst.
I think you're right. The final is Miami 38, Buffalo 7, and we'll be back here in Miami in just a moment.